Hey.
Mandy merch.
That's true.
So
I was
who?
gonna say, isn't that a Mandy shirt?
Mandy.
How many
Oh,
fingers are hold up
Mandy.
right now?
I literally don't know.
That movie.
That movie.
Very good. That was the answer I needed.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever see Avatar 2?
Oh.
No, you did. Oh. There's a part where like the Na'vi are getting prepared to go to war, and I swear to you, exactly what they do. You'll remember this, like when they all go like.
Is
You
it
know
just,
exactly
yeah,
what they
it's just the fucking Charlie McDuffie. Yeah.
I looked
They
over
show
at
their
Kelly and I was
teeth.
like,
Yeah.
just wait till I show you this video.
Yeah.
She was like, that is exactly what they're doing.
That's pretty good.
Turn into primal fucking mutants.
And they throw down their
Love it.
cups.
Well, it's what they are. And it's what they are. And they deserve to get civilized. Welcome to another colonized episode of the Effin' Movie Podcast. We're your hosts, Nathan, Dylan, Mason, and Price, actually in that order. If you're reading right to left,
For once.
if you're reading right to left like a Japanese manga reader. And we've got a very special, soon to be very exhausting episode.
The big one!
It's the bracket episode special!
I'm already tired.
Yeah. We've got some. So, after our last bracket special, we decided that our tiebreaker system of just shouting at Jill and Annabeth
Screaming.
was not particularly our most thought out and well articulated tiebreaker system. So,
You would think reason would prevail here.
and it didn't. And it won't today
I've
either.
said that many times. Whenever
You
you
have.
ask people, like, what do you think about this? And it's like, I think reason will prevail.
And I said, no, it will not. No, it will not. So we don't trust reason to prevail anymore. So what we have is a kind of a slew of tiebreaker systems, if you will. For starters, and I'll cover the tiebreaker system for top 8 onwards when we get there. So until then, we're just going to teach you this. We've all got whiteboards, and we've all got 25 imaginary dollars to spend. Now, what are we going to do with the imaginary dollars? Well, for starters, cry at inflation.
Then invest in Mega Millions.
Yes.
1.3 billion.
No, so the idea behind this is that we're
It's
going
easy.
to bet
It would be.
on our movies. More of a silent auction, if we're being honest, because we're not going to share them. There's no collaborating. There's none of that. But we're going to do a little bit of a silent auction for movies when they tie break in. If we really want to fight for it, we've got to put our money where our mouth is. For round 1, so for top 32 to top 16, there'll be a minimum bid of $4, gentlemen. So we cannot bid less than 4. We can bid 4. And we only bid in dollar increments. No $4 1 cent.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Say Nathan and I are on the same side, you two are on the same side.
Sure.
Minimum buy-in's $4.
Correct.
Say I put in 5.
Does not
Nathan
add
does
addition.
6.
Nope.
Okay.
He gets it.
So
It's his dollars
it would
being
be
spent.
his dollars.
Yes.
Top
right?
bid. Yeah, no accumulation.
Top bid,
There's
okay.
no tiebreakers. We are not.
And
involved
there's
really.
no combining of... Okay.
Yeah. It is top dollar bid. Your money goes in. Everybody else keeps their money.
That's good.
That's how it works. I thought about conglomeration, but again, it encourages cooperation at that point.
And this is only for tiebreakers.
Yeah, this,
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
you,
Yeah,
we
this may
we
not
may
even
never
happen.
even use this,
Yeah.
but we will. And the number amount of which was the minimum bid will increase into the top 16, but we'll get there when we get there. We have waited quite long enough with the brackets. We have the bracket over there. I don't know what we'll do for video editing or anything of the sort. Probably just put it at the bottom.
I would imagine we're going to do 2 halves.
We'll see.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably make the most sense.
We'll see.
We'll sort it out. We'll see how we zoom through this. But without further ado, we're going to get into our brackets. For this episode, Mason, back as the host, Bracket Lord, even though we have a bracket over here.
Lord.
But we do need to say, like, these movies were picked out of... Was it 64?
The last 2 seasons.
The last 2 seasons we curated.
How many was that?
3 or 4, 4 or 5 actually. Yeah. it's
Yeah.
been a
Oh, really?
while.
Yeah, we've been a few seasons since the last bracket, so...
I remember Game Night was our
okay.
very first
So
one.
these actually start from the last bracket's ending point.
Yes, so
Okay.
from
So-
the last bracket episode to this point, every one of those movies are in the pool, and we curated 32.
Starting from Game Night. I remember vividly it was Game Night. Because
yeah,
we were like, let's
yeah,
try
which is
something
on there.
different.
Yeah, that's
And
on
we
there.
started trying to do a board game while doing a movie review. Did not work. So we tried a bunch of things throughout these seasons. This is a very experimental time that we did.
Uh-huh.
And these movies, again, I can't remember exactly how many we had. I thought it was 64 movies.
I
The
think the
last
first
time,
bracket
yeah.
was 64.
no, I'm talking about this one. I thought like we had 64 total to choose from, and then we curated it
Oh,
down to
we
32.
probably went to... Yeah, we did... and this is more boring, so feel free to... Maybe we'll let a timestamp.
Yeah, we're just
skip
done
this.
with this. Anyway.
Right. Effectively,
Yeah.
we shrunk it down from
Regardless.
good, mids, bads, and then we went from there. So anyway, we got to 32 movies. Moral of the freaking story is that we got
And we
to
learned
32.
our lesson because 64 is way too many to cull
Way
through.
too many.
It was about 59.
Yeah.
59.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 59 minutes that we curated down to 32 based on how much we thought it deserved to be there. And at the end of the day, we've got these now bracketed out. It is more of a tournament style bracket where you just kind of work your way down to the finals. And without further ado, I think that's more or less all the cover. We did see them beforehand too, so
Yes.
these weren't
Of
totally
course.
random. They definitely deserve their spots on where they're at. But
Okay, before going in though, what do you all think is going to win?
No, shut up.
no,
Come on.
that influences
Don't,
it.
don't we already have our secret favorites or whatever that
Oh
we,
yeah, well,
we
we gotta
wrote down?
yeah.
So
Top
Well,
eight.
we're gonna do a new one at top
that's
eight,
something
but-
for later.
Yeah,
but,
that's for later.
but I feel like
we'll
that
do
kind
at
of
top
tips
eight.
your
Cool.
hand.
Top eight break.
Never back down for me.
Yep.
Yep, I'm I'm with it.
We're all on the
You
same
know what?
page.
I'm glad we
Why
all
are we
agreed
doing
then.
the bracket?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's-
game over.
Never back down.
Never back down is
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
back down from this bracket. But before we get there,
Where's
Mason,
that on there?
It's like a couple.
I see it.
Down there.
Yeah,
All right,
it's in the top
so
half.
in our first matchup, we have Jojo Rabbit as the 1 seed out of 32 versus 8th grade.
Okay.
Um,
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, but do we even need to discuss
No.
this?
This seems like an easy layup. 8th grade goes on to the next slide.
Does anyone honestly not vote JoJo?
Okay, these are both my movies.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick JoJo.
Okay.
And I
Let's move
and
on.
I staunchly remember defending 8th grade harder than anybody else here. So my guess is that JoJo moves on.
I viscerally do not
Yeah.
like 8th
Okay,
grade.
so
JoJo definitely moves on.
yeah,
JoJo.
there's no competition.
That's an easy opener.
okay.
I mean, it's the very top versus the very bottom.
right
Yeah.
for a reason. So all right, well, reason has prevailed so far.
Reason
Now,
will prevail.
We are kind of getting into the weeds here
Yeah.
because
Yep.
we've got two similarly seated positions.
We definitely do.
What we got, Mason?
All right, so at a 16 seed, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, I think it's Dead Man's Chest,
Correct.
Yeah, it is.
versus I Am Legend.
Woo! That's a good one.
This is already
All
going
right,
to get a little spicy.
Who's want to champion which movie?
I'm going to put all of everything I've got in I Am Legend.
You want to
That's
do
not
On
a
Legend?
surprise.
Who's
It's-
doing Dead
it's an
Man?
I Am Legend versus a sequel.
I think I do lean towards Pirates, but not like dramatically. I mean, I think that.
So you could be a swing vote on this
Yeah.
one. Price, do you feel like you're a swing vote, or do you feel solidly one way or the other?
No, I'm very solid on Dead Man's Chest.
I'm.
Oh.
I picked that movie. It was the category of Pirates.
Oh
and
yeah,
I
you
picked
did pick that movie.
Dead Man's Chest. I think it's
Uh,
by far the best of the Pirates movies.
I will say,
even
Dead,
over one.
I will say, Dead Man's Chest slaps. I'll probably lean towards Pirates on this one over I Am
But
Legend.
Mason, I do want to hear your piece, even though
Yeah,
unfortunately
yeah.
you are outvoted. I mean, I know this is a very passionate one for you. I think you gave it like
This movie,
9.5 or
it's
a
at
10.
least an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, you're high
Okay.
on this movie. So.
It's probably my most watched movie of all
Yeah.
time. It's just, it was
Yeah, I
always
can
on
see it.
television.
I feel like that's what makes me not as keen on it.
Yeah.
Is because I feel like I have seen it too much.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like the value. It's something about like when you see it on TV so often, it almost takes the value away from it. It's like now you're not special.
Yeah.
Everybody's watched this movie.
I think that, like, I just like that atmosphere and, like, the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
Of course,
yeah,
it is,
yeah.
we talked about it's, like, insane scenario of, like, wow, he's a military, expert. Also, he's, like, the head scientist
He's
department.
the most perfect
in
man.
New York
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
like, okay, it's obviously way too crazy, but man, is it a thrill for me. But I will concede that's fine.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, what particular do you like about it? I mean,
Oh, I love Will Smith. He's easily my favorite actor.
Yeah.
But it's also,
okay.
there's a dog dynamic. There, for any movie, period, it's a lot
Mhm.
like A Quiet Place.
Mhm.
This movie had a lot more dialogue, but it was a single character. And I think that he did very well for it to just be him. Of course, a girl and a kid come in probably 70% of the way through the movie.
yeah.
But, I don't know. I think that it's very Hollywood. That's the only demise.
But it's a good case study for just Will Smith for most of the movie.
It's
so.
good. I mean, it's
That's
probably maybe a top 5 movie of his,
And
probably.
it's really
I'd
unique
give you
too, even though it's made. I mean, it was a book first, right?
Yeah.
Like it
It
still
has
is a
some
very
old property
unique
to it.
concept.
But if we all agree on Pirates, then for the most part, taking
Yeah,
it,
that's fun.
Yeah,
I would look at Nathan use the swing vote on that one. So
yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point.
No, I'm
Well, I think it's time for an upset.
yeah, let's get mad. Nate Mason, what's next?
so we are
Yeah, Pirates moves
next.
on.
Okay,
so
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you were saying like let's vote on.
Oh no,
no,
sorry. Yeah, we should probably have.
Unfortunately, Mason's like, we want to vote.
I've got some
We
dollars.
probably should have an official pro process that says yes. I would
Yes.
say, yeah.
All right, so our next matchup is an 8 seed Kingsman versus a 25 seed Annihilation, both of which had some favoritism in this group.
Yeah. Can I call it this what this is?
Yeah,
Uh,
the Mexican standoff.
this is gonna be a Mexican standoff, I think,
Why is that?
because I'm staunchly Annihilation.
Yeah.
Nathan, I'm not gonna speak for
Like
you.
Kingsman is a
Good
fantastic
movie.
movie.
Good movie.
Like really good.
I know
Very
you're
impressed with
whenever
it, but
somebody says it like that,
Annihilation
it's gonna be a
and-
big
But-
fat
but-
butt.
Oh yeah, always. But Annihilation really amazed me, and the world building of it was captivating.
Yes.
So for me, it's Annihilation.
All right, I want to say my piece because I am
Yeah, you were
staunchly
you were
on-
very staunchly Kingsman.
on the Kingsman.
This is
train.
actually probably the exact spectrum. Like,
Probably so, because I mean I get that Annihilation at least is doing something different, but I think it does it in such an obtuse and not fun way, especially with the alien scene at the end. Like I could see how some people would think that's like unnerving, but to me it just seemed like it had its thumb up its own ass at the end with the alien stuff, and it got so obtuse is the word I keep using, because like what they keep doing with the alien. Again, I understand that it's like a foreign concept and it's supposed to be very foreign to you, but when it's so foreign that like I can't understand or appreciate what's going on with like a space and seeing all this stuff, like it just gets on my nerves. Whereas Kingsman takes a concept that you've seen a million times, which is the spy thriller, and very much turns it on its head, because it turns it into both a comedy and a drama both at the same time. There's amazing comedy elements and dramatic elements in this movie, and the best scene I think that exemplifies that is when... Are we spoiling?
Yeah.
yeah,
here?
if you're watching the bracket, you should have assumed that we've
Okay.
spoiled these movies.
When they have this bonding moment with their dogs and they're like bonding with it, and he gets stuck with a pug that he like hates, and everybody gets the German shepherds and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's this little comedic timing of it, and then finally Michael, I forgot his last name, whatever, is like, shoot your dog. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you have to shoot your dog. Like in this business, you have to do hardcore stuff like that. And then he pulls out his gun to shoot the pug, and you think it's gonna be this big dramatic moment, and it just zooms in on that stupid, ugly pug's face.
Yeah.
And it's just both so funny and so dramatic at the same time, and it works so well together. It mixes both those elements so well, and it has, in my personal opinion, which I can't convince anybody else, that the church scene,
Yeah.
coupled
I was
with
gonna say,
with Freebird and the choreography and the long take action, is second to none. I mean, I think this movie is very special.
I'll say that I'm pretty much right in the middle, because I think that Annihilation is so art housey, and it's so like, you kept saying foreign. I can't disagree with that. It's such a weird feeling. It did it really well, but my
It's
goodness.
jarring, but with intent. behind
It's
it,
so
though.
strange
Yeah.
all the way through, and I do feel okay about it towards the end. Same thing with Kingsman. It's almost a little bit too, I don't want to say raunchy, a little bit too like just,
Well, sometimes.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, the fall into the girl's butt ending is not my
Yeah,
favorite.
that was
Yes.
stupid.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I mean, that was just one scene.
Right,
I just
right,
think
right,
that
right.
it's a little bit too much of that like zany.
There's
spy
so much where it's
thriller.
too over the top that
Yeah.
it's not grounded enough.
But
to
my God,
Yeah.
Annihilation is flat, compared to it, but it does it well.
Eh.
I don't think it's flat.
Right.
You've got the bear.
You've got the.
He's
Of course we're
converted.
gonna. Dude, if he wasn't,
he got
I was going
him.
to.
He got him.
Uh,
Only Dylan can talk about that fucking
I
bear.
fucking love that bear. Dude, that bear. Listen,
I can't go a day without
that
talking
bear.
about
That bear is just as comparable as a cinema moment to at least the church
The
scene.
church.
No.
No, if we're talking. No,
No,
we're talking
I do
movie
think
moments.
that it's like it is the moment of the movie that
Right.
everyone remembers, which is like the same thing.
That's
as
what I'm
the church
talking
scene.
about. Is like
Okay,
if we're,
yes,
Yeah, if we're
yeah.
talking about the two.
It
pieces
is
of
the
movie.
moment. I
Right.
agree.
Yeah.
The alligator albino one is like albino alligator is just kind of like neat, but like it gets more into. I think so. Here's my argument. Other than just the taste, right? Price would argue a sense of fun, because I would agree that Kingsman as a movie is more fun than Annihilation, but Annihilation's job isn't trying to be fun. It's trying
No.
to be very cerebral, very psychological,
Yeah,
very
and
like bizarre.
I appreciate the fact that it has you thinking about the idea of like the loss of self,
Yes.
just biologically
That is
into
cool.
the
Mm-hmm.
world is. Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's not something that I feel like I've seen before.
For the
Right.
tempo that Annihilation has, which in my opinion is about like this the whole time, it does it very, very well.
Yeah.
I think that overall that movie is kind of boring. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's a very, very steady flow movie with a couple tiny
Yeah,
bumps,
you
little
could
spikes.
You could argue
But
that
it's
its
brilliant.
tempo is like not like boom, boom. You know, we're not exploding or anything.
But look at what it's up against. You know what I mean? It's just two way
Sure.
different movies of.
Yeah.
But
So I think at this point, there's not so much a like argument for movie or sake. It just comes down to personal taste, and really the only one who's in the swing is Mason. So
What you feeling, Mason?
Mason, are we going ties or are we citing Annihilation? What can we do on that?
I will say that Kingsman is something I would definitely put on in the background, and Annihilation, I think I've seen it way too many times as it is. I appreciate it for what it is, but I would be on Kingsman's side a little bit more.
Okay.
Well, we're transitioning
Let's
into the
go!
money where our mouth is. Reason has not prevailed.
Remember, $4 minimum.
$4 men's do not show, no collaboration, and the highest bet will win, and the movie will carry on with it.
Wait a minute, hang on.
I'm ready.
Yes,
We said $4 minimum.
$4 minimum. So
And
you,
this
you can
lasts
bid
you.
$4.
And this lasts you through the top 32 and then the top 16.
Correct.
Yes, but is 0 an option?
No. 'cause
No.
You have
So
to
everyone is in it.
Yeah, if you're
No, you can opt out.
yeah, well you can you
Yeah.
don't have to bet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well,
I knew that was going to happen. I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
ask you for the mouse.
yeah,
Anyways.
Yeah. Yes, you can flip to so I guess technically 0 is an option.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
this
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
right,
shouldn't
right.
have to bid.
Not going
Right,
to
right,
show
right, yeah,
my
we're not-
hand or anything.
No, we're trying to yeah, that's fair. Okay.
We ready?
Yep.
Uh, okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I got
It's
5.
not a 10, it's a 0.
Oh!
$12 to the
yeah.
man in the corner. Annihilation.
I respect it. I respect it because
Yeah.
you do feel very strongly on that movie.
Yeah,
I
good
really
for
love
you.
it.
I would
I
argue that
respect
he,
it.
yeah, and it comes down to he feels more strongly.
And
than
you know,
do on
to
that.
be honest, like that could potentially influence me down the road.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
Because
much
like
he
when
feels.
Against a
Annihilation
different
goes something,
matchup,
like
right.
I'm gonna be like, oh, Nathan really likes that
Nathan
movie, and
fucking
then like I don't know, his
It's hard not to-
his passion kind of gets.
It's
me.
hard not to. Passion's contagious. It is contagious.
Not Lego Batman though. We'll not jump with you on that one.
Oh, we're all jumping on that one. Don't worry, the rest of us are fine.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, so
After a
Annihilation beats
gruesome
King.
battle that leaves one man
Slaughter.
half with life.
Yeah.
We have Game Night versus Big Fish.
I forgot Game Night made it on here.
Yeah, I forgot it did too.
That's
We just
astounding.
That's surprising.
and it's a 9 seed for the scores too. For average score, put it 9.
Gosh,
Did we?
that's a tough one.
It's a 9. Look at him.
Yeah.
On
I
average
mean, we
score.
liked it pretty
We liked
well.
it.
No, everyone liked that movie.
Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 9 seed. Okay.
9
I
seed,
thought you
yeah.
meant like
Yeah.
999.
Oh no.
Might
Sorry,
have,
sorry.
might as
Yeah,
well
I
have been.
swear.
That means everyone gave it at least a 7
Yeah,
out
Rachel
of 8.
McAdams, show some more skin. 99999.
You're gonna remind me why I like that movie.
Must say 3 words. Rachel McAdams, butt.
Yeah. You know why she stopped being so thick? I'll stop liking it.
Thicker
So-
than a Snickers.
Yeah. So this one's interesting.
I think we need to get a feel of the room first.
Yeah. What's everybody feeling?
Or do we want to do pitches?
I think we need to know where we feel before
I
we pitch.
do love Big Fish.
I know you do. Yeah, I love it. Big Fish is up your alley. It's
But
an old
man,
brother kind of like.
But that
movie,
is such
though.
a story tale movie. Like
Yeah.
that's just another one of those that like you got to be invested in. I've mentioned this movie to many people,
Yeah.
and it's not always a resounding wow, great, seriously, that was awesome.
Well,
It's
so,
more so not the
let's,
case.
Let's say pick some like just a standout scene from whichever one you lean towards.
Oh, I could name way more out of Big Fish.
Yeah,
than I
sure.
could Game Night for sure.
I can do a ton out of Game Night.
Yeah, like I'm thinking. I'll just say I'm leaning Game Night,
Game Night.
and the thing that I'm thinking of
It's like Game
specifically is the like being in the mansion and the rich people.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
getting on
Uh-huh.
I was like, I told you there'd be a fight club here.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was good.
No,
like
yeah.
that's my moment that I
Yeah.
think of whenever I'm like thinking of why I kind of like I like the twists and turns that Game Night gives you.
Yeah.
Whereas Big Fish doesn't really surprise you. It's nice. It's a
It's almost a
pleasant,
tale as old as
lofty
time, if you will.
fantasy.
Daffodils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelly Jr. for
And
that
something
Yeah.
she does love that movie.
She
But I was gonna say, and Game Night does something that none of these movies do on here, and I think it has the best end credits of any movie I've seen in a very long time. Because I don't know if y'all remember it,
Don't
but it
remember
goes
that.
to the basement of Meth Damon. If you remember the police.
Oh
officer
yeah, and it
guy.
shows
Yeah.
the whole
And it
like
like
his
does this
whole
weird
elaborate
like
plan.
zoom in like through all of his things. Like
That's
it's
true.
a 3D zoom.
It is a big.
It's
yeah.
a really weird like it's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of like shrink and zoom through like all of his plans
Yeah.
to like how he set everything up while the
Yeah.
credits are rolling, and I thought that was really cool and unique.
Here's what I'll say. I'm leaning on Game Night. However, I'm fairly neutral, and it's coming down to I just remember thinking I had more fun with Game Night.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring it back to fun as the only, but
at
it's
all, yeah.
right. I don't like it as the only metric because Kingdom
Yeah.
would have won purely on that metric if that's the case. But
Yeah.
Overall, I remember thinking like Big Fish was like, again, kind of like just another Tales all the time. I'm like, yeah, okay, we get another wholesome story about you kind of fill in the gaps, right?
Tim Burton movie that has a little heart in it.
And then there was and I don't dislike it. It just feels like my favorite game.
The
Night.
biggest dart I have thrown at this movie a million times, which will be kind of like Jojo Rabbit, which you'll hear and I'll say to the
Oh,
man
no.
because it won't matter.
Yep.
But I remember for our 6-month anniversary, I set this movie up for Kelly. Like, we did it and watched it. And she made the mistake of asking me what I thought about this movie. And I've been saying it for years that I came off so hot, and I still am so hot, because the whole point of this movie is about the son trying to connect with his dad in his dying hours. And the whole movie, the son is like, Dad, can you please just like tell me the truth one time? One time. And he's like, there was a magic big fish. There was a magic witch person. And he's like, no, Dad, there's not. And then the whole time, like, me as the viewer, I'm feeling like ostracized for that.
Or awkward.
Yeah.
Because like it's making me think like
How dare
I'm
I
the
want this
asshole
relationship
for...
to occur? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
And
like,
that just
he
grated on
needs
me.
to,
Huge.
like, I mean, if your father's almost dead,
yeah.
like, cool. Tell me again all these ridiculous.
love it,
Bryce's
yeah.
on the other side,
Yeah.
I think, right?
And he's
Where you
just
want
like,
the
no,
dad to
I want catharsis.
finally
The
just be
dad
like,
needs to say like
"Bruh."
one time, because
Yeah.
I understand why he tells these big tales, because like there is like a kernel of truth and there's a message behind each story.
Fish gets
That's
the
cute
bigger
when you're a
bigger.
kid. That's cute when you're going through life. But when he's on his deathbed and his son's like, I appreciate your stories, but like I want the truth just for once.
But-
and he's like, this is the truth.
But with Nathan just saying that is the difference in the audience of like I'm kind of with Price. Like I want the father to like just take a step down from his high pedestal.
Take your L, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
but
just-
Nathan's point, why don't you just humor the dad for 6 more hours, 10 more hours, 20 more hours,
If it was-
however long he's got?
I would have met you all with it on that one, or I would have met Nathan on it if it was like he was like degrading in his brain, like if it was like
Yeah.
Alzheimer's or something, and it was
Yeah.
like
he's
Oh,
not. That is
no,
true.
he's
still very
perfectly
with it.
healthy up here. He's just dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, buddy, your brain's working all right. What's the fucking truth, Dad? Yeah, you're right. It's game night.
Game
all right, so
night.
votes,
Nope.
game night,
Game night.
across the board. Game night it is. Moves on.
I do. Game night is a stronger, better in that one.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
next
no.
one is gonna get bloody. I'm afraid.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be Super Troopers at a 4 seed, which means it was in the top 4 movies that we've seen,
Yes.
and against Never Back Down, which is just this, this little number that we watched.
A little.
And just to be clear, the reason Super Troopers is 4 is because these 3 gave it very high, and I'm the one who brought it down a little bit, to be fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was still
So
high.
Never
for
Back
you.
still
Down,
want-
on the
for-
other
for
hand,
this
was
season,
a
you-
0.5 for me.
Yeah.
You gave it at least a 6.
So
and a
like,
half.
Yeah.
I'm
Seven,
just
probably.
putting in context that I was the lowest on Super Troopers,
Uh-huh.
and I rank it miles above Never Back Down.
Okay.
That's fair.
Now, with that being said,
That's for me. That's my piece.
so where are you voting though?
Super Troopers. Even though I would love to do the meme of like Never Back Down, I
Yeah.
wanted to beat Jojo Rabbit because I need something to take it down.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. Like, I
Why would you
enjoyed
think Never
Super
Back Down?
Troopers.
Just
Of all the
because
movies.
he-
You're right.
Because it's in
I've
the-
created this fable that he's
Because-
bought into.
because it's in
He's
the
got
top
my big
bracket.
fish, is what
Yeah,
he's got.
that's what it is.
No, it's
Never Back Down's the biggest fish possible.
like
It is.
I'm not gonna play the system. Super Troopers I like exponentially more than Never Back Down. Me personally,
For whatever reason, if you
Go on.
haven't watched the episode, you should. Never Back Down is definitely one of Mason's top films
Of all time.
of all time. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Which has been baffling.
It's all of them.
That
Now,
it's ever
I also
done.
like Brothers.
now, and hey, I do too, buddy.
Yeah. Uptown.
Yeah. I will say, I
Oh, he's
rewatched
got
Never Back Down. Of all these movies,
You did.
I
You
did recently
Yeah.
watch Never
Yeah.
Back Down. I made Hannah watch it,
Oh,
and
God.
she said it was miserable.
Good thing she's not here right now. Am I right?
Am I right?
Oh, swing vote.
And I will say, I won't lie, I enjoy Never Back Down. I do. I unironically enjoy it. It is one of those
Quit
bad
giving
movies
us a
I find
pitch.
enjoyment from it.
Just quit.
So I'm not gonna pitch it. I'm gonna say I'm leaning on the swing vote right now. So Nathan,
What?
I'm just going Super Troopers. Like I don't know why. Like I get that we want to like not just run over Mason's like.
yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Mason's
Nathan.
test.
Thank
Like,
you,
I
Nathan.
don't want to do that.
No,
But
no.
to me, honestly, I can't. It would just be like
a meme.
It would be
Yeah.
a joke.
For me,
Yeah.
like if I gave Super Troopers a 6 and I gave Never Back Down a 4, I almost would be inclined to push Never Back Down because Mason, I know, has so much passion about it.
Yeah.
But I gave like Super Troopers like a 7, and I gave Never Back Down a 0.5.
So
I can't
But
make that difference.
So, Price, will you admit that Super Troopers is very funny?
You
I
did
think,
like
I
it.
think it's funny
You
at
liked
its
it.
moments. It's a very
Did it get laughs
kind
out
of
of you?
comedy. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you gave it a 7.5. I'm
Yeah,
not
that-
joking.
that
I think you gave it an
That
8,
tracks.
maybe.
No, it wasn't an 8.
I don't
It was
remember.
close.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
yeah. Well, I would be willing to be a swing bow. Super Troopers is literally one of my top 10 favorite movies. It's actually my top 5.
But Mason,
Yeah, like
So I can't in good faith.
That was you attempting to go for.
It
like,
was.
a
It was. You're
Brothers
right. You're right.
Nightcrawler.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Like that's why I was just like, I'm gonna solidly stand on the side of Super Troopers because
Yeah.
I'm not about to have this.
I just
happen.
want to see where everybody is on Super Troopers because that might be important later.
Mason, don't back down.
Never back down.
Like I want to hear your pitch. Maybe you can convince somebody. Like it is possible.
I
Like,
mean, it.
but to be fair, when you pressed the 10 button, we said, "Why are you giving it a 10?"
I just
You
like
said
it.
verbatim, "I just like it."
Yeah.
Much like I Am Legend, I've seen Never Back Down up there. It's up there.
Oh,
in
I've
the
seen it at
numbers.
least 3 or 4 times this year.
Just in the past like 6 months.
Legitimately, yeah.
I mean, it's just a.
It's a good-
the
it's a
first
good-
thing I said
it's a
about the
good
movie is the
wholesome
soundtrack is solid.
The soundtrack.
It's
That's
an
the reason
angsty-
it got 0.5.
It is an angsty teenage
Yeah.
guy's dream. Plus, it's got scantily dressed women.
Yep.
At that time, sure, every actor
Amber
and
Heard
actress
isn't shitting
looks
in on
like
anything.
she's 28 years old in high school, sure.
Yeah.
But the movie itself just, I don't know, it's something about it.
I'll tell you-
it's not.
I'll tell you my one cognitive flaw is that what's his face from high school has won the Kumite tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
Cam
Cam Giganti, yeah.
twice before. This
Yeah.
would have been his third win in a row.
Well, he's a senior.
And he's a senior, so that means since a sophomore he's been battling full-grown trained adults
Bruh,
and beating
they
them.
said he was training since like 3
3
years old.
I know, but there's a little suspension of belief for me that this sophomore
Yeah.
is beating the also equally
So,
trained adults.
no.
This
So you're telling
120
me that like
kid.
Charlie Woods,
I'm not
Tiger
saying-
Woods' son, who's
I'm
like
not
10,
saying it's
shouldn't be like in
well,
the
golf
in
is
the
very
amateur-
different
Yeah.
than full hand-to-hand fist fights, Mason. Which, for the record, I love this more for me watching it, but I will say, in a point of criticism, what the fuck?
I mean, you
Anyways,
saw some of those other contestants. They were chumps. They were
that's
doing
fair.
backflips.
That's
and
no, that
they
guy's
should
my
have been
favorite.
there.
I love that guy.
I know you like
I
him.
love that guy. Votes. Super Troopers. Yay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, Mason.
That's okay.
3-1. Hey, listen, I fought for it. I did back down, but
Yeah, well.
I didn't want to.
Let's see what backs down on this one. The Martian versus The Big Lebowski, a 13
This
versus
one could be
20.
a good one.
This is an interesting fight.
is.
The Martian got a lot of mileage on our movie. We literally sent Price to Mars.
Yeah, he went there.
Yeah.
For the sake of this film. So I have a special fondness for The Martian for this reason. But the Big Lebowski has
I
so
can't
much
wait to see that.
has a history.
It's going to be good.
As the Big
Yeah,
Lebowski has a
the-
history.
The
Beat.
Big Lebowski is a classic.
It's a classic.
And
For a reason.
good reason.
For very good reason.
It holds up. It continues to just, in the same way that like it's one of the few movies I don't tend to rewatch films very much at all.
Yeah.
But I have watched The Big Lebowski probably at least 5 times. That's highly unusual for me.
Since
No,
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 just
no.
like
okay.
in life, yeah.
Like
I was like,
typically,
Jesus.
typically a
Times.
movie will get maybe 2 watches out of me in my life.
Yeah.
But
Big Butt
The Big
Latino 7 was
Lebowski-
fire.
The Big Lebowski is the one that like I would just throw on and just have playing in the background if I were to do that kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. It really is a good movie to toss on in the background and just kind of come into like the moments.
And The Martian is an enjoyable movie,
Mhm.
but I don't think it holds like. At least to me, it doesn't hold that same level of regard as The Big Lebowski does.
Yeah.
Was it Big Lebowski's the Coen brothers, right?
Yes.
And although like I am ultimately kind of siding with the Big Lebowski, I do think the Big Lebowski does need to be knocked for some of the more my favorite word on this podcast
Obtuse.
Yeah.
esoteric kind of things
Oh
it does
my
in it.
Second favorite.
There's
one.
some weird like experimental things they do that very much miss for me, especially
the
like
acid trip.
Stupid, yeah.
some of those
Yeah.
very much miss. And also the biggest one for me is the cowboy that comes through.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
basically like this
the
omniscient
one
Sam
kind of
Shepard?
presence.
Yeah,
Things?
Sam Shepard.
No, like the
it's-
guy, he comes in and talks
He's
to
the
the
narrator,
narrator.
cowboy. He's the one at the bar at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
the beginning.
that missed for me entirely, but it still kind of edges out because there are some amazing scenes and dialogue in The Big Lebowski, and that gets me very well. But again, I could be possibly persuaded to go for The Martian because The Martian, like, just the production value is outstanding in that movie. Like, it's crazy the amount of money. Like, I never, like, watching him on Mars, I never thought, like, this is, like, green screen, like,
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like, the production on it's outstanding.
Mason, where are you landing?
The Martian all day long. I think that like
You weren't super big. I'm big.
well, and that's the thing. Like I was sitting here looking at all of these comedies because my thing is too. A skit-based comedy or something like that should not have the legs to go. This is not a skit-based comedy. I'll grant you that
right, I
this
was about
has
to
a
say.
story, a through plot, and everything.
I'm gonna feel mad when we start talking Super Troopers about this, though.
Well, there's another one that I'm actually worried about on there that I'm
Ah.
gonna kind of eat my words a little.
yeah,
But like,
that's fair. Yeah.
but like The Martian is an actual movie. It is an actual film that has a point A and point B. They have a
It is a
Plot,
traditional
yeah.
plot movie.
yes. And The Big Lebowski to me is such a stoner comedy. And stoner comedies are, oh my god, they're so niche, and I don't understand why some of them get the legs. Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express was insanely big.
I love that movie.
I remember, to be fair, I do remember watching that movie 5 times in theater.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, where's my car? Like
I also
do you
really
think-
like that movie.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like,
All right, I'll admit, but I come from a stoner family, so all of those rotated
so
in,
are
and I
these
got
movies
that.
Same here.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, they're good. But my god, do they stand up
Kelly
against
Senior.
Yeah.
a budget of that much and an actual production? My thing is, The Big Lebowski did not hit with me
Yeah.
hardly at all. I hated those scenes that Price was talking about. The ones where he's like rolling through the bowling alley, floating, going underneath girls' skirts. Like I thought all that, and I just didn't like his character at all. The dude was not my favorite.
Mm.
What
What about John Goodman?
John
Yeah, that's
Goodman
what
was
I-
good.
I was about to say, John
John
Goodman really is
Goodman
the
is like
John
the
Goodman is
loving
good.
character
What was the
of
other
this.
guy's name who's always in the
Donnie!
Adam Sandler
Yeah,
movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in. Oh, he's
The
in
cockroach-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. He,
Yeah.
of course, he's funny.
You know he dates some super hot. He's married to somebody super hot too. You just
Yeah.
know it by looking
Human
at him.
Skeletor.
Yeah.
Mason, I love you, and
That's fine.
I was wanting to give you a win because,
That's
like
fine.
I said, I could be persuaded, and you almost had me with going with The Martian. But you just did that trigger thing. You were like, but the other one's a comedy, so like it shouldn't have the legs to do that. And like
No.
two of
Yeah,
my
somebody
3
who puts
favorite movies are
exclusively
Billy
comedies.
Madison and Step Brothers, so I can't.
That's fine. I mean, it's one of those, you know,
I
do I see
know.
The Big Lebowski going super far as a stoner comedy? Maybe. I doubt it, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know about on the bracket.
on this bracket. I don't know. But it has a very fun
That's
matchup
fine.
in the Super Troopers on the
It
rundown,
does.
though.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a matchup
Yeah.
for a fun discussion. But we'll come back to that.
Alright, moving on to a 5-seed Oh Brother Where Art Thou versus the 28-seed American Psycho. I will start by saying American Psycho, you can rewatch the review. The first half of that movie, fantastic.
Yes.
The
One of the
latter
best
half of the movie,
movies
though.
I've ever seen, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And God, does it drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it took acid and said, you know what? Let's let it start with a
Yeah.
cat.
It gets way crazy towards the end of it
Mhm.
to the point where it heavily takes you out of what was building up to be such a like perfect movie.
But the annoying thing is, I know that the director is saying like trying to put you in his head,
Mhm.
so you don't know which is real or what's not.
They could
I
have done
don't-
it
I
a
don't-
lot
It
better
doesn't
than
come
that,
out
though.
that way.
I don't like that.
I will say, because I rewatched this just last week. This was a random like weekend. What do you want to watch? I don't know. Fuck you. I'm putting on American Psycho then. With Hannah.
That's random.
And I know. Well, we were on HBO Max.
It
and- It is, and I'll tell you.
Shut up.
The second, I will say, yeah, I agreed with you guys 100% that the second half is definitely not the strong half. There is a noticeable decline if we're saying comparing it as 2 different movies. Overall, as a package, though, I'm still on American Psycho because the highs of this
More
movie
than Oh Brother though.
more than Oh Brother because
It's the Coen Brothers.
oh,
thing, isn't it?
yeah, Oh Brother.
Oh, it is.
We got a lot of Coen on this one.
Weird.
So Oh Brother, while fun, never hits the peaks, never hits the highs that I wanted out of either of these movies. Right? Oh Brother is very much a classic tale stuff, and I think it's enjoyable and fun. But I never had the like wow factor I had with Oh Brother that I did with American Psycho. So and that's That's me. I can't speak for you guys on that.
What was that anime that you picked for us to watch that was about the
Alita?
pop idol?
That
Perfect
was
Blue.
Perfect Blue.
Okay. I feel like I feel like Perfect Blue does better the thing of like getting you into the head
Transitioning
of
into that
like
weird
a
half.
transition
Wow.
to the latter
No,
half.
you're right.
No, you're
I would agree with
very
you.
right.
Yeah,
and
you're
the,
exactly
the,
right.
the anime, like the medium of animation facilitates that. A
Yeah,
lot more.
it
Yeah.
lended itself to the
Like
medium.
I think there's weirdly some great parallels between
I
that
would
and
actually
American Psycho.
Yeah.
And
I never
I think
put that together.
it does
Yeah.
it so much better than American Psycho does. Like if it weren't for that latter half and the way it fumbles,
Oh,
I think American Psycho would
this
be like
bracket-
really high.
Yeah, this
for
bracket
me.
would be way different if it had kept that tempo.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, we're comparing it, not against.
Yes,
that, but
true.
Oh Brother, Where Are You?
So
Yeah.
like that's just me like kind of like hitting it where I have my problem with it.
Mhm.
Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Never had seen it before, and it's
I
one
forgot
of
that
those
was your
ones
first
that I feel
time,
like
yeah.
everybody has watched.
Yeah.
In school.
I really yeah.
Like 6 times in history.
I really enjoyed it. I think it did a great job, and like we had a couple of nitpicks about
Sure.
like the sirens and things like that, but overall like it's a solid package that delivers all the way until the end. And I know one of the other quibbles was like the way it kind of kept going longer than some
Could have
people would.
stopped.
Oh, yeah.
It
But
felt-
it felt like an
I
hour.
even liked that it circles back around to some of the stuff that you saw in the beginning, and I just don't think American Psycho like had the legs to make it all the way to the finish.
Yeah.
3 for Oh Brother.
I'm definitely going Oh Brother.
Brother.
I'm firmly Oh Brother.
Oh,
American
Brother.
Psycho was like walking out of the grocery store with a bag of apples, getting home, and it's an eggplant all of a sudden. Like, I don't know.
Oh, thank God.
You got to make a whole recipe now versus just snacking on some apples. I don't know.
I'll snack on that eggplant. Are you kidding me, Christian Bale? Look at this.
Yeah, he's an eggplant, all right.
Yeah, he is. Anyway, but American Psycho.
That was a bit of trivia. I remember that like there's the scenes where he's shirtless
Yeah.
in that movie that apparently all the girls like on the production side came out and watched him film those scenes.
But if it was,
So that's
if
interesting.
it was guys with the girl topless scene,
There
suddenly,
we go.
no, not all men.
All right, this
That's
one.
what they say.
This next one's coming up. It's gonna be Lego Batman versus Baby Driver.
What's the scenes?
I'm ready for this.
12
one.
versus the 21.
Lego.
Flip flop.
Yeah, so Lego,
Lego
Batman
being
being 12. Yeah.
Let's go, boys. I
Yeah,
think this
I
one could
mean-
be interesting.
Lego Batman!
He's only got $13.
Ah, I got
Make him
25. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the question more is where does Mason
Yeah,
stand
so-
this, because we're
We're-
Lego Batman.
We're staunchly in Lego.
I did like Baby Driver, but it is a heist movie, and it's
What's wrong with that?
nothing wrong with it. It's a very typical, very.
It's not Snatch. That's its problem.
Don't do that to
Snatch
me.
did the same thing to better 5 years
Yeah,
before.
Nathan and I will carry that movie.
Baby Driver. If we're talking about tempo, it definitely had some differences towards the end.
Yeah.
Lego Batman was fine. I really thought I was not gonna like Lego Batman going into it,
Right.
but it ended up being okay. I'm not willing
You
to
went at it
fight.
going low and then it punching up, or
Sure.
Baby Driver probably was like
It
going
kind of
high,
started
punching
up,
down.
yeah, and
Right,
it ended up being lower. So I'm neutral.
My feelings are basically Baby Driver. If I gave it a 7, I gave Lego Batman a 6.5.
Yeah, so you're pretty much right in the middle, and they're gonna sway it.
And I will say strongly because I gave a whole fucking
No,
thesis.
what'd you give it to?
I'll give it to Lego Batman. I mean, it's
Just
too,
to not do a tie.
Yeah, well,
That's fair.
it's
It's not worth the fight on it.
like Dylan said. I started here, ended
But
here
they
on
don't pay
one.
for it.
No, no, because I make
Hey,
good
minimums
solid
are up
arguments.
in the next round.
Yeah, it's true.
Minimums are higher in the next round.
They are.
All right, so
Okay.
Lego Batman. Moving on.
Yeah,
Lego.
We didn't make you guys sweat too much.
I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
Lego
The next call in the next bracket
Yeah,
group.
this is the South crowd.
Yeah, the South crowd.
South Galaxy over here.
Number 2 seed Parasite.
Kind of an easy open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parasite versus In Bruges.
All right,
Yeah.
can we just all agree?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to say a final piece to In Bruges?
Yes, I do.
I
actually.
I
feel
thought-
like In Bruges really was a surprisingly good movie.
I agree.
I'm actually the one that pushed it to get into the bracket because it wasn't even gonna. It was like right at the edge of getting into the bracket.
Yeah, it was on
Yeah.
the chopping
Yeah.
block.
Yeah.
You put it on there.
The last third of the movie was pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
when the action actually
Yeah,
picked
it
up.
opens so slow
Yeah.
and frustrating, but yeah, it gets really good and like wacky in a way that I like a grounded movie to get kind of just out of nowhere wacky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's a great film,
Also-
but it's not Parasite.
Yeah. Go ahead,
it's-
Mason.
well, I was gonna say the only final piece I can say is Dylan's friend who gave this movie a 10. I don't know what you were smoking.
Yeah,
I don't either.
even I'm on like
And
I don't know
Bruce,
about 10.
even if it's like Nathan says, is pretty good, has some good qualities. I think I gave it like a 5.5, maybe a 6. Like I saw some of those
yeah.
things.
I think
but
I
it
was probably even closer to a 6 or 7, and that's only because like the beginning lulled me into thinking I'm like shit, this movie's gonna suck, and then like I did actually enjoy it by the time it came
yeah,
through.
it was more enjoyable than I
Right.
thought from the trailer. But I remember that guy who just got punched in the face or something.
Yeah.
It was like that crackhead dude that like Ralph Fiennes or Ralph Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
He comes in, he's like the big boss man who chases him down with a gun. Like it got good.
Here's what
Just took a long
here's what
time.
I'll say about this. They more or less made like a recent like spiritual sequel in a lot of ways. It's like the Banshees of whatever.
That critics
Oh.
are going nuts.
I wanna
Yeah.
see that movie.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
Right, and I would say strictly because I watched In Bruges, I'm like, yeah, I would watch that because if it's feeling like, and
Yeah.
again, it's not a direct sequel by any means.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I'm definitely willing to give this kind of film another go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason alone, I would say this movie is better than it's getting repped on, but it's up against Parasite, so that's not fair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm giving no sympathy to In Bruges. I hated this movie. It bored me to actual tears.
So, Parasite, 2C,
Parasite moves
unsurprisingly, moves on.
Yeah.
All right, and then moving on to
A 15 and a 16.
an interesting
18.
thing, because
One of us
did not watch
has
one
not
of
seen
these
them.
films.
All right, quick
Oh,
roll. Quick
And,
asterisk.
you know, whatever you were talking about, like picking movies to make us watch before we did this.
Yeah,
You should have watched.
you
Eternal
definitely should have
Sunshine.
watched this going. All right, can I?
I did not.
I'm going to be
want
cruel, but I think rightfully fair in some extent. Price, is it fair to have you have a vote in this when you haven't watched one of the movies when we have to have all votes?
I
No,
don't
no. Price was gonna fight for Uncut Gems.
Regardless,
no matter what.
right? And he
You
was.
all know I love Uncut
No, and we
Gems.
know, right?
Wow.
So
Or actually, it's Uncut Gems.
I'll say amongst the
Oh,
three of
God,
us, if we feel
let's just say where are we at?
yeah, I think that's fair. I
Because
think that's fair.
I'm on side with Eternal Sunshine.
You guys know where the fuck I am.
I'm-
That movie sucked.
I'm with Eternal Sunshine.
I hated that movie.
I really enjoyed it.
You want to talk about a movie that was so far up its own ass?
This is
That
very
movie,
polarized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Clementine and her hair color.
Yeah,
it's
it has-
symbolic.
it has some beautiful-
Yeah.
Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey.
No.
Shut
No.
the
Jim
hell
Carrey
up.
is not Jim
He is
Carrey.
not Jim
He's
Carrey.
not.
in that.
Fuck you.
He's
I've watched
very
The
different.
Mask, Ace Ventura 1s and 2s,
Okay,
and
you're
all of
right.
his
He
shit.
wasn't the
Liar,
Ace
liar.
Ventura.
He is not.
Let's
Jim
do
Carrey.
let's do the tiebreaker. It's
I
nothing's
will.
gonna change.
I will absolutely do a tiebreaker on this one because Eternal Sunshine
All right.
does this thing where it's untouchable. It is untouchable.
No, it's
and I
touchable.
don't get it.
We touched it.
You guys can keep touching.
This
Okay,
marker
I will keep
sucks.
touching. Oh, sorry, bud. There's another one in the basket you can try, but I think it sucked too.
I can tell you what it is.
Alright. Mason's gonna do it. Okay.
Do you think there's something about the way that we sit during these that we end up
Unintentionally.
I think so.
I think it's a weird spectrum, though. I really do.
Well,
because
me and Dylan
me
were
and
next to
Dylan
each
were-
other last time.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
on the end.
and we were
Next to each
Bryce and
other.
I were next to one another. We were the ones
To be fair,
coordinating
yeah,
together.
I think most of the time you would say that me and Price are usually on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So
Yep.
the fact that I'm in the middle and Mason's in the middle and we pair up
These-
fairly
yeah.
often. This just goes to show the diversity of our
It
opinions on
does.
these movies.
Let's
But
go.
3, 2, 1, reveal.
$6.
Mine's 5.
$0.
Four.
Great. Alright, so now I'm down.
The $6 bid does it. Uncut
Well, at least I could
Gems.
scream at it and it made sense.
You
Oh, I
cheeky-
should have told you that one girl shows her boobs in it.
Who?
In Uncut Gems.
Dude, she is so ugly.
Julia Fox?
God,
She
she's
got
ugly.
body.
No, she. Yeah, I
Have
mean
you
it's
seen
mostly
her?
plastic, but I like the shape.
Oh,
of
now
it.
she looks.
Yeah, she
I
looks-
can't, I cannot forgive that. Anyways,
I was hoping that would maybe sway Dylan a little bit.
No.
so with the
yeah.
power of money and greed itself, Eternal Sunshine falls short. And
Capitalism
Uncut
was a mistake.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems, to Price's benefit, moves forward.
You know what? I'm fine. It's gonna lose to Parasite anyway.
Yeah.
Next things next, we
I thought it would have been
have.
funny to just keep letting it go because
That was
Bryce
the one
just
that-
would have no way of arguing
That's
as
true.
it continues.
That's true.
I love Uncut Gems. God damn it! Oh man, preach it to it, Mason.
So we have the other guys, another crowd favorite at a 7 seed versus Coda at a 26 seed.
Dylan, do you want to?
This breaks my heart.
Do you want to do this eulogy?
You let me go ahead and just be the person.
You never back down.
Let me start by saying both of these are my movies. These are both my babies.
Coda's mine, you weirdo.
What is it?
Yeah.
I swear it was mine.
But you were the one putting up the most fight for it.
I
think.
am and I was, and I will.
The
because
same situation will be happening.
I
very
fucking
soon.
love the other guy. So here's what I'm gonna say. Coda is an absolutely fantastic film that wonderfully covers a subculture incredibly well, accurate and great, and I think it's
Jesus,
wholesome
Mason.
and wonderful. Go watch Coda. However, everybody's gonna vote the other guys, and I fucking love the other guys, so I can't really be too mad about it. Votes in for the other guys. I
You're going other guys.
have to, because I know it's gonna take it.
Coda is such a typical
Shut your mouth.
teen drama, but I loved it.
Oscar
Alright.
bait movie.
Yeah.
It's one that I still don't understand why it won.
I do. It's great. It won the
Like,
award because it
was
deserved it.
Fine. I don't think it's a bad movie.
Okay.
Oh man.
I can't wait for this.
So the other guys moves on.
Other
Their
guys is
next,
in.
our next matchup is gonna be Gladiator at a 10 seed versus the Punisher at a 23 seed. Can I start?
Gladiator.
I would like-
I will not be swayed.
Hold on. I wanna start, but I'll go
Oh,
ahead and
go
let
for
you. I'll immediately let you have this. This is Gladiator against Marvel's Gladiator. Can you continue, Mason?
I don't know about that. I think that this is
A
Gladiator.
revenge story where a guy's family gets killed and he goes on a wear and tear and destroys
Yeah,
them.
you're exactly right.
We had to talk about this,
Yeah.
and we were like, it's just the same movie.
My thing is, this is a very early Marvel film
It is.
before basically Universe was
MCU.
even considered.
Yeah.
And they had some fun with it. They had some cheese to go with it, right? They had
Boy,
some fun.
do they.
Yeah.
They do.
Man, but it's
In a satisfying way.
In a way,
good way.
in a good way. Let us
It makes you
it's
kinda
not like
chuckle.
bad
Yeah.
cheesy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Let me start saying, regardless of where I vote, because I truthfully actually don't know. I'm very much in the middle. I will say, the Punisher, for all of its cheese, is its cheese done right.
Yeah, it's making a comic book movie that feels like it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I do enjoy that quite a bit, especially with just the inundation of Marvel movies, because those don't feel like comic book movies, and this is very much like
This knows what it
ripped out of
is.
the pages.
Yeah. Thomas Jane stabbing, oh my gosh, Kevin Nash with the
Oh,
actual
yeah.
knife.
up
And he's,
through the mouth.
yeah, and he, honestly, that whole segment alone almost wants.
Yo, dude, that whole battle scene was
It's
incredible.
so good.
It started with the archery and the bow through the first guard's
Yeah.
chest and ended with the explosions of the skull in the car. I hate comic book movies. I don't really like
Sure
Marvel
you don't.
movies. DC can just go on down the road.
Well, and they did, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, now they're owned by like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
But anyways,
they're burning. They're burning.
like the Punisher feels a little bit more unique, a little bit more before its time, before the curve came around. And I think that like, I don't know, like Gladiators, it's okay, but man, it was.
Okay.
Like-
okay, that's where I'm
I'm
gonna lose
telling
you.
you right
you
now-
say okay. I say I was teetering on giving it a 10.
Yeah.
Not I said the cat.
It is. All right. So here's what I'll.
If anything, I probably gave it the lowest score.
Yeah, you probably.
I mean, and it wasn't
Yeah.
bad either. It's just
I don't know.
I would watch The Punisher probably 5 times over Gladiator.
my
It's a
God.
shorter watch.
I don't know
It's-
if I'd watch it.
What?
Okay, cool. They had
It's-
tigers.
It's a shorter one, bro. It's just more than I'm with you on Punisher, but you're making the wrong takes. Like, all right, let me say this. Objectively, narratively speaking, Gladiator is Punisher with objectively a better lead. Definitely a better.
Yeah, that's what you get with Russell Crowe.
I mean, right, a better
Yeah.
antagonist again.
Sorry,
with
Thomas Jane wasn't like
Dude,
all
Thomas,
that
listen,
about
and
Joaquin
Thomas Jane
Phoenix.
brought it, and
Yeah, he's good.
what's his face brought it. They were both good, but it's just like I feel like the Gladiator does everything I really like from the Punisher, but a little better. Except for the cheese that's in the Punisher is like that does put me over in a lot of ways because I do love where he's just like 5 pounds. You look like you work out, and he's having him hold the grenade thing that's about to go off, and he's like 5 pounds doesn't seem that heavy. And then
Maybe-
later, the explosion after. Dude, it's fucking so good.
Maybe this is one of those. You know how like we watched Goodfellas after we watched every other mobster movie.
Right, a little bit of a jarring
and it
thing,
fell
right?
short. This is how Gladiator is for me. And it's not its fault. It's just like I've seen so many of those movies, not in this group. It's just in general.
Yeah.
Like you had like 300. You had some fun ones. You had Alexander.
Yeah.
You had all these other movies, and like Gladiator really just blends into that. It's not its own entity.
It's a curse of its time, is what you're saying. Is that it's...
Oh,
I
mean,
feel like it
it's-
stands out.
It might stand out to you.
I
It
think it stands out for
And I'm
me.
a big fan of that kind of movie.
I know you are.
I
We
like-
watched The Last
I like
Kingdom.
historical
Or
epics.
what was
Yeah.
it? Was it The Last Kingdom?
No, Heaven's... Or,
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh God, we did watch.
Same
that.
thing. It's just
Yeah.
all of those movies are all wow. They're gonna be riding horses and they're gonna be fighting medievally.
I just
Cool.
think
Yeah,
Gladiator's
I don't know. It's. Not my
you know
cup
what?
of tea.
Here, let's...
No, I'm out.
What are our votes? Because
I'm
I...
on the Punisher full.
Gladiator.
Full
Gladiator.
Full Gladiator. Punisher. I won't lie. I love these both. But the Punisher cheese, now that I'm thinking about some of these scenes, I just fucking love that. I'm gonna go
So
Punisher.
good.
I want to put it to money.
Let's go.
I want to put it to money. That's the
Let's
only way I'm
go.
gonna feel good about this. This are two.
Bryce, you can't
super
cheat
good
this time.
ones.
What was he looking at your board?
Yeah, he changed his number because he saw my number.
Pride.
Oh.
Oh.
I lost $6 so he could put a 5 down after he saw my
Whoa.
6.
No, I didn't.
You said, "Wait, let me change this."
Didn't see yours.
Yes, you did.
Get out of here.
Oh my God! Price admitting to cheating. Classic Price. Everybody got their numbers in?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1, and go.
$8.
$5. Big zero, huh?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Frugal.
Well,
I told you
Yeah.
I did not care about either of these movies that much, but God, The Punisher. Is
$8
not good.
from the man in the middle.
Hey,
Mason pushes it.
controlling the board, I guess, for no real reason.
I didn't hate my time with Punisher either.
I-
but I do.
no.
I do think Gladiator's better, but that's fine.
Hey,
Gladiator is.
guess it
is
doesn't
objectively
matter now.
better.
Money buys it all.
Yeah.
Capitalism at its finest. Next movie. Mason.
All right, now we can spend all of our money on Constantine versus Everything Everywhere All at Once.
How dare you?
I'm gonna
How
say
dare you put two movies I love so much?
I don't remember Constantine for
Bro.
the life of me. I didn't.
Keanu Reeves was
Constantine
smoking
Rachel
the
Weisz is
whole
in there.
time.
Constantine
bet-
has the best devil
Ever.
in
He's in
cinema.
it for like 5 minutes.
And he's
But
fucking
he's so
crushes.
good.
5 minutes.
Crushes.
Compared to like 2 hours, 15
Aesthetically
minutes.
Aesthetically.
and just like
Intro.
character wise and just yeah.
I think that movie
so
it made
good.
me hate the color yellow. Every scene had this
That's
like
fair. That's a fair
Yeah.
pale
argument.
yellow.
There's a yellow
or
filter.
bright
It
yellow
very
thing.
much had the you're in Mexico.
Yes, the
stuff.
Yeah,
Mexico
welcome to
thing,
New Mexico
yeah.
slang.
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz is pretty good in it. Keanu Reeves
Forgot she was in
knocks it out of the ballpark as usual. Shia LaBeouf gets fucking raffle stomped at the end, but Tilda Swinton, man, this cast is fucking insane. The
Keanu
Night Side.
Reeves
remember any
plays
of those
Keanu
people.
Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is
He
great,
does not do anything.
and he's wholesome, and he
outstanding in this
deserves
movie.
it. That being said,
Compared to all of the cast of Everything Everywhere.
that being
Yeah,
said,
there really is no actual.
it's not a fair comparison.
between that.
Everything, Everywhere, All the Time is a fantastic, amazing film that Price had nothing to do with, but he's going to claim all the victory for because he happened to be the first to.
Hey, we'll see what happens
So-
in the next round. So Everything Everywhere All at Once moves on.
Well,
Uh-huh.
did we vote for? Did we all? Okay, votes for everything.
You're right. I'm
Everywhere.
voting for Constantine.
Well, if you're gonna vote for Constantine, put it to the money.
Oh, well, hold up now.
I don't have any left.
You caused an upset.
Yeah, all right, Everything Everywhere moves on to the next round. We love you, Constantine.
Yeah, some of us do.
We do.
The next matchup is Whiplash at a 14 seed versus Casablanca at a 19 seed.
There's the money.
I
It's sitting there if it goes.
listen.
I mean,
Listen.
Casablanca's a
Casablanca's a
classic.
classic.
Casablanca was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Okay,
much.
so would you say that it was low? Now, where was Whiplash for you? Did it just maintain?
Oh,
its
Whiplash! I think
expectation?
I had about this much expectation, and I think I ended up at about this much.
Yeah, you probably stayed
expectation.
right around the same.
Right about the same. Casablanca.
Yeah, way lower, way lower. No, you went in. You came in with old
Well,
movie
yes,
bias.
but I also know that this is the most talked about movie since 1941.
Okay, so it gets one movie and
then.
then it has its time, like Jurassic Park. Then Mason.
Yeah.
Oh my
Let's
god! Here we
move-
go.
Let's move forward
No.
to my reasoning for just pushing Whiplash through because Casablanca, it's fun, but
Oh,
it's
But it's never had
But
its
it's
time
not
on
quite
the
your
spot.
Yeah.
see,
Yeah. See?
bang, bang, bang.
All right,
see?
Price. Unequivocally, your Whiplash still correct. Just for the viewers at home who may be
Honestly,
uncertain.
if I could take all of my passion for the other movies on this list that you all think I have for Parasite and for Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Whiplash is your
And The
one.
Punisher.
whatever,
Don't forget
and the
The
Punisher,
Punisher.
Yeah, thank you.
everything goes on Whiplash.
Yeah.
Like, when I feel like there's something that's going to be close, like, I will dump as much as I can on you guys. But if this, like, if it's if there is this actual tie between Whiplash and Constantine, it's going to be another Brothers and Nightcrawler, and I am receding myself from this. I'm going to save my breath. I'm going to
And your
give up.
wits and your mental status.
Yes, because last time I was shocked.
Price has realized that this is a marathon and not a sprint, and now he wants to preserve his energy.
Some qualms that I had with Whiplash that I wouldn't quite get over is that they play the exact same Whiplash song over and over, which I will say in Price's history, just want to put this out there, he does not like repetitive songs.
No, he's...
Slumdog Millionaire.
No,
No, it was the Paper Planes.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
MIA.
That's very.
Yeah.
Slumdog
But-
is very different
Slumdog
whenever
is
you're
very
talking about like
Yeah,
a
from the-
repeating motif.
For
Yeah.
sure. But
Oh, I
with
want-
Whiplash, that's really the only qualm that I have with it, is that they just, which is what you do in band, I get that.
Yeah.
But Casablanca, I don't know, I just,
And they don't even play the full song of Whiplash.
no, they
Yeah.
just keep saying, let's take
play,
it to bar 5.
They play
and-
little parts of it where you don't even know like what Whiplash
you know,
is
they have
until
those
the ending of the
saxophones
movie.
that come in the...
Like the only part you really get from Whiplash is that bump, bump, bump,
Yeah.
bump, bump, bump.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
really the only part you really get through the whole movie until you get the whole thing at the end. So I feel like you get different sections of Whiplash each time it's brought up.
Here's my statement, but Whiplash is a very good movie. J.K. Simmons is great. The performances are well done. What's his face still has an incredibly punchable face, but they give him a great role for that because he gets slapped around all the time.
Andrew, whatever his last name
Teller.
is.
No, it's Miles
Miles
Teller.
Teller, yeah.
Andrew.
Andrew
Neiman.
Garfield.
Neiman.
Neiman. Oh,
It's
yeah.
Neiman.
Neiman. Anyway, really, really good movie. Truthfully, this one impressed me, but Casablanca, not just because it's a classic. I'm not a classic show despite what Mason would think.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I don't. Listen, I picked the two classic movies on here because they were two movies that equally impressed me. I go in with a total
You want me to
bias.
pick Shawshank on the next one, just
Total
to fucking put this
bias.
whole thing to
Yes,
bed.
exactly.
For the record, I've never seen it, so I'll probably be quite impressed with it because I hear it's quite good.
That's the
What-
ticket to winning, evidently.
As is,
We'll
as
just get
is
these big
Casablanca.
critic movies for Dylan and just be like, we're gonna make you
You
go
know
through all
what? Give me an
these.
excuse to finally watch them. I quite love my time with Casablanca. Truly a just absolute gem, and I have good memories watching it as well. So, I'm gonna just solidly say it. I'm gonna go to Casablanca, and not necessarily against Whiplash, but just because I just enjoy Casablanca that much.
It is a solid movie.
How about you two?
Whiplash.
Yeah, I think that Casablanca is one of those you definitely need to see, and
Yeah.
heck, see it a few times. You know, it's good for it, but
You ever have a date
Whiplash.
night, or you're just watching it?
no,
I know you don't. You don't go on
no,
date nights. You're an
I
animal.
don't.
You put on Never Back Down.
I'll put on Never Back Down, and I'll
Which, to
follow
be
it
fair,
up
I also did, so I can't say anything
with
about
Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and then I'm just calling it a night.
I put it on for date. Never Back Down as date night too, and Kelly made me turn it off because she hated it so much.
I
He didn't watch it. I get a spot.
He didn't watch it. He gets a spy. He got a minute. All right, so
Would now watch that.
yeah,
whole
so
monstrosity.
Whiplash-
we're saying 3-1 on Whiplash.
moves
then?
on.
Whiplash it is.
Casablanca had its time in the 40s.
Shut the fuck up.
And probably 50s, 60s, 70s,
And it's
80s, and 90s.
Well, it's
but
almost
It's
as if it deserves
really
it.
not a great.
Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It's really not.
I thought it was good.
It's good.
But, okay, you know what, to Price's point, was it a great movie in the freaking 40s? Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like
What
3
do they
movies out in
have?
the 40s, bro. That's not fair to them.
No, that's
the
the
fact
point.
that they kept making movies and they kept saying this one's good. It makes me argue for.
It's like saying a
Casablanca.
caveman hitting a rock with a stick, which probably sounded kind of good, because it
Bro,
was.
and then when you finally actually make a bat, you're like, fuck yeah, this bat's still pretty. Anyway, so next movies.
The next one is A Quiet Place at a 6 seed versus Cube, the sci-fi thriller from Canada at a 27.
As
You want to talk about a bottle episode?
yeah,
Nathan? I want to hear what you have to say.
Nathan,
Yeah, let's
you're,
talk
you're
about
the
it.
opinion. You're the.
I mean, ultimately, Quiet Place is a far better film.
That's not
Cube
what we're
was-
asking
Yeah,
here,
that's not
buddy.
what we're saying.
Cube was interesting, but I'm not going to bat for Cube. Like, just because I throw a movie in, I'm not throwing
Yeah,
like my
it's exactly
favorite
the same.
movies on the wheel. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not like I'm always just like, oh, I'm ready to defend my decisions. I put bad stuff on.
Kill
there.
my decision.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. So no, I don't need to fight for it. I think it's pretty clear, and everybody will agree that it should just be a Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quiet Place is
it's
a
fantastic.
very, very good change of pace from everything else that's been coming out lately.
Everything, period. Like,
I think there's something like 90 lines of dialogue in the entire movie. Like, there's a lot of like crazy stats or details and little trivia things that come with The Quiet Place. The only thing I hate about The Quiet Place is it spawned a second one that I didn't think was nearly as good.
I don't think it's as good, but I still think it's
either.
very good.
I didn't think it was all that great at all.
That'd be a good one for the sequel category.
It would be.
Too bad it's not.
Too bad it's not
Too
Yeah.
bad it's not a thing.
Oh well.
All right, so Quiet Place moves on, unanimous,
A Quiet Place
basically unanimous.
peacefully just moves on. But Cube, a fun watch. Go watch it.
Dude, seriously, I think everybody needs to watch Cube.
Yeah, everybody's watching it. Cube and Casablanca, the two recommendations on the South Park.
Hypercube.
Oh my
Cube
God.
Zero.
Oh my
Don't
God.
sleep on Cube Zero.
Don't sleep on Cube Zero.
Dude, that movie's so good. I'll watch that whenever I get home. The next matchup is The Hateful Eight at an 11. There's a lot of numbers in that one. And Dead Snow at a 22. This is a world of
Price,
difference.
Yeah, what do you mean? They're the same movie. It's literally
There's
two
a lot of
people
snow.
stuck in a
Place
cabin walking
stuck in a
with
cabin in the
right
snow. Yeah.
with people and things that are dying. This is the same fucking movie. The only
This
thing
one's
is
just gonna get such Quentin Tarantino fucking love. It's gonna make me nauseous. You guys go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Dead Snow on this one. Unironically, Hateful Eight is my least
I
favorite.
see that.
Is my literally least favorite.
You've said
Quentin
that all the
Tarantino
time,
movie.
so
I have.
like this is not a meme vote for you.
No.
I appreciate that.
It really is not. As much as I would love to meme something into glory, I don't see Dead Snow getting much further than this, in my opinion. If it does get past Hateful Eight, but Hateful Eight is my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. It is, it's exuberant and most of Quentin Tarantino's mistakes of where he sits there and he drags for too long with things. But it's the movie for me.
You mean indulgent?
Yes.
Instead of- okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long day for me, and we're sitting here and we're talking about Dead Snow. It's stupid. It's dumb.
So dumb.
It's so fucking dumb, but it knows
But
it's dumb.
so good though.
It knows it's dumb. It has its fun with it, and it gets the fuck out. And Hateful Eight is the exact opposite.
No. And also, Dead Snow, like, it's just like any of those other, like, Dead by Dawn movies where, like, if you start with 6 people, guess what? At the very
Yeah.
end,
You're gonna have
you're either
one.
going to have one or
Maybe.
zero.
Maybe.
One person.
Yes.
Maybe
Well,
one.
two, if it's a couple.
It
That's
is
true.
such a natural, like, evolution of, like, all right, we're near the end because there's only one guy left.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the hell out of that.
Let me start by saying I'm voting for Dead Snow, but I'm also saying I'm mad about it.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
I mean, these are both movies I'm both very passionate about for very
These are
different,
both your movies, right?
different reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I couldn't remember if Hateful Eight was or not.
These are very up my alley, but
I didn't get that. I didn't have a single matchup of my own.
Oh yeah, no, mine murder mine all
Well,
the time.
I mean, at least you got a bunch of your movies on the list.
That's
What's
true.
that like, right?
Yeah, you got a couple.
But anyway, as I was saying, like
That's
to
two.
pick between these two, I think it's two very different movies. I know we say that a lot as a qualifier, but Dead Snow is a action horror movie, whereas Hateful Eight is a meaty,
Slow
character-driven,
burn.
slow burn,
Yep.
dialogue-heavy movie.
Da-na,
And if I'm picking,
na-na,
and if I'm picking
na-na.
between the two, I kind of prefer the latter, to be honest. I mean, definitely not the director's cut. I don't think anyone should watch that. I think it gets
Of Dead
way
Snow?
too indulgent at that point. No, Hateful Eight.
Oh god, I
All
was
it does
like,
is break it up
Yeah.
into segments.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Just watch the regular cut. I really like that it just stays in this one place and you get to stick with these characters and get to know them so intimately. I mean, when I say Daisy Domergue, everyone immediately knows who
that
Or-
bitch
or-
Daisy Domergue, we're gonna hang her.
Mini Asher.
Yeah,
what's it
yeah.
called?
Minnie's
Haberdash.
Haberdashery.
Yeah.
And I get that it is indulgent, but even though it does lean into its indulgence, I feel like there's still points that bring you back into the movie with like little bits of action, like somebody dies and it throws you right back in and gets you in. There's this amazing monologue given by Samuel Jackson
Suck a
To-
my pecker, you son of a bitch.
to pull it back in. There's like
My
little bits
Johnson.
of little bits of action, and then there's just this coming together at the end of people you never would have thought. I
Laughing while they're bleeding
I
out.
think Hateful Eight just has a lot more to offer than Dead Snow, even though I can see the argument of like Dead Snow is more rewatchable because it's more digestible.
Literally.
I don't know.
That's the thing that has me
Yeah.
so like on edge about it is like I wouldn't want to watch Hateful Eight.
No.
How often do you rewatch movies though?
Right,
Yeah,
but point,
exactly, I-
case
I
in
don't.
point is that he doesn't. So
But like if I had to choose between the two, like I probably would watch Dead Snow over Hateful Eight, but I do think Hateful Eight's better.
I will.
So which one are you putting your vote on?
I don't know.
I know because I see both sides
let
of what you're
me
saying.
let me swing and also say that. Tell me I'm wrong, and feel free to. That Hateful Eight doesn't have in my opinion, a big quality drop from Channing Tatum onwards.
that it
That it gets better or that
No,
it
it
stays
gets
the same?
It gets worse. Like it's just like this is
No.
what the fuck are we doing?
No, I think it stays. Like I just think the surprise is like good. I just like the surprise of him coming.
The surprise feels like the movie
Then it kinda goes
kind of
on.
pulls the sheet over you a little bit and kind of blind. But like
Yeah.
for my argument earlier about like The Martian and like The Big Lebowski, right? Like stoner comedy versus like a high production.
Sure.
I can't sit here and like vouch for like the Dead Snow aspect of this, but I do think that this is like a great Quentin Tarantino movie. I love Dead Snow, but like Price said, like this is a slow burn plot that actually
it's literally
gets
the
you
slowest
like.
burn. It's literally the
It is.
slowest
It's a long movie.
burn. Fucking it's 3.
a long
It's
movie.
like
It is.
it
It's
3?
2.5.
It's over 2.5.
No,
It's like,
the director's cut that doesn't add anything
No,
besides
what-
breaking it
I
up into
swear
chapters.
the standard is like 240.
It's not.
If it's 240, you're gonna have to vote.
just
for
keep
Dead
going,
Snow.
Mason.
But The Hateful Eight is my vote, and I'm not necessarily completely all the way.
Ha! I told you it's
Just
close
short.
to 3.
Well, you said 3:30.
No.
Slow down.
No,
He
director's
said
got maybe.
3:30.
Director's got maybe.
Getting off point.
Off point.
I'm gonna go Hateful Eight.
You
It's one of the best.
You traded.
Quentin
You said if it
Tarantino
was over
movies.
230.
So Nathan, what are you
You
thinking?
said.
I mean, I guess I can lean towards Hateful Eight probably a little bit more ultimately.
Press up to you. Tiebreaker or hateful?
I think I'm still going hateful.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that we're all kind of on that same with. I think you're the one that feels the strongest about it, and
Absolutely.
I totally understand that.
Absolutely.
But I still think Hateful Eight there's just more to it, and it's more original
Well, it
than
should.
Dead
There's
Snow.
5 more. There's 5 Dead Snows in that movie, so there should be more to it. But Dead Snow, I guess, moves
Hey,
on.
And we can also say with my theory of like Dead by Dawn, there's only 1 or 2 people left at the end of Hateful Eight. If they started
Oh,
with 8,
Hateful Eight? No, there's 0.
no, Samuel L. Jackson doesn't die at the end.
Yeah, he does.
No, he definitely believes that.
Does he?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he's bleeding out.
Yeah.
They both?
They both. Yeah.
But
yeah.
they're laughing while the credits like basically pan out.
Yeah, because they're dying.
they're
Yeah,
dead. They're
they
dying
die.
for
They're,
sure.
Yeah.
they're dying
They're-
and or dead, right?
Like, everybody died.
No, but
Yeah.
they didn't show hope of somebody knocking on the door and be like,
Yeah.
They didn't die.
"Oh, let's go rescue." Yeah, if they did that, then sure, but no, they're
Yeah, I
dead.
feel that.
They're dead.
All right,
Round 1 is complete.
everybody
We
got
are-
your totals still up?
How much money does everybody have right now? Quick inventory. check.
I guess
nah.
No.
we can kind of figure it out, though, with
Yeah,
how
that's
much
fair.
everybody bet.
Fine,
I haven't
yeah.
spent yet.
I
Do
haven't.
you guys want to take a break now?
Do we want to cut, or we keep going?
Hey, just keep going.
Cool. All right,
for
we're
me.
moving on.
Yeah.
To
So
the second round!
top 16 bets
So
are
I
minimum bets.
realized I think only 3 movies on this whole thing were even mine.
I was gonna say I think you had at least a couple, but
Cube,
yeah, 3.
Gladiator.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
was
pick
mine.
Gladiator.
That was mine.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
only 3 movies out of this whole thing are even mine.
How many are hanging in there so far?
1.
Ah.
Oh, we don't have to get into
Then
that.
you-
We'll
then
see
you're
which
doing
one it is.
Living on a prayer.
Top 16, we're going to work our way from top down. For the record, at this point forward, minimum bets are now $6.
6? Okay.
$6.
Cool.
Approved.
All right, so our first matchup is Jojo Rabbit versus Pirates of the Caribbean 2. I'm not gonna mention the seeds anymore.
Yep, seeds are now meaningless. It is all out brawl.
I might mention.
I'm
the
going to
seeds.
make the pitch for Pirates, too.
There it is.
Tell us why.
Oh,
Bryce.
yeah.
Tell us why, Bryce.
I mean,
I want to hear.
I'm just preaching
One
to the
more
wind,
time.
but I feel like I still should, because I mean I'm not even gonna speak of the like demerits of JoJo. I don't think there's a
Thank
reason
you.
to.
Yeah,
all
we
know.
appreciate it.
I don't really care. But Pirates 2, I think, is so consistent throughout its runtime. It has a very consistent tone. It has a very consistent story, and it just I think really like pushed the envelope of what CG could be at the time with what they did with the Kraken and what they did with Davy Jones. I think was revolutionary for its time, and it still looks really good. And I like all the different storylines that eventually convalesce into the one with Davy Jones's heart, and it shows everybody's motivation, everything that everybody wants for it, and like you really feel why every single person is going to stab each other in the back over this one item, because you know in depth why each one wants to have their wish granted, including like the one-off guy who's like the bad guy from the first movie.
Yeah.
Like they even give him a little bit of not redemption, but like characterization to where you actually understand why he's actually getting to compete with our main characters. Because most of the time, like this could just be like a shoe-in kind of character, but they give him a little bit more of some depth to contest with him, and he feels like a character by the end of the movie. And I mean, the scene with like Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow fighting, I think, is iconic. Him about to go into the Kraken. I mean, there's a lot of really good iconic shots from this movie, and I know I'm speaking in the dark, and you're like, yeah, it is a good movie, but it's still JoJo. But
No, I mean I don't disagree with you.
I mean,
I think this is still
Pirates
an
2 is very solid.
I still think because it is in this franchise, it is an underrated gem, and I will continue to back you on that. I think that
Because a lot of people just want to say like Pirates 1, yeah, that's the best.
They're like Pirates 1's
And,
good, and then honestly, and how many of them didn't even watch Pirates 2 through anything?
Yeah.
Right? Like no, and Pirates 2 is definitely I think peak Pirates, but peak Pirates is still not better. than Gem.
Does it not have that kind of like convoluted like? But there's fucking 5 of them. You know what I mean?
There's a lot going on.
It's
but
like me saying, man,
I
Fast and Furious 2 though.
Right. So here's my thing with Pirates 2. Anyway, there's a lot going on, but I never feel like it feels like it's like confusing, or I never feel like it's like they have way too many plates spinning and it's not like coming together in the right way.
And especially the
Literally
first 3
spinning
feel
plates at a
very,
certain
very
point.
different from each other.
Yeah.
The first one is like very much just like about these characters' small story. 2, it gets a little bit bigger with adding a little bit of magic into it.
East India Trading
Third
Company,
one,
I think
it's
it's just a
just
sick
huge.
villain as a concept, though, honestly. And then we got a fucking Kraken. That's sick. And then they killed the Kraken in the third one. Kind of a fucked move, if I'm being honest. God, that reminds me why Jojo Rabbit wins, is because they got 3... and I kind of still like 3, but 3 fucking tanks. But we're not talking about 3. Anyway, votes for Pirates, ayes.
I says
Votes
the cat.
for Jojo Rabbit, ayes.
Aye.
That's fair.
3-1.
I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. Well, JoJo moves on. The next one is going to be Annihilation
Versus Game Night.
Game night?
versus Game Night.
Now you may believe I was staunchly Annihilation last round. I withhold my Annihilation staunch, and I will continue to stand in this trench.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
I definitely am in full support of Annihilation still.
Aye. You guys, what are your thoughts?
I do like Game Night. I think it's
Game Night's thick.
clever and it's a good like light-hearted romp, but I still just this like the thoughtfulness of Annihilation is much more interesting to me.
And that's, I mean, I think they're doing 2 different things.
They're doing
Whereas,
Yeah, they are.
I know we
Different
keep
things.
saying that caveat, but I'm saying
But that's like the kind of give or take.
Okay,
with
yeah,
this.
I
Annihilation is like trying to be a more thoughtful movie and get you on board with that. Game Night, I think, is doing what I was talking about earlier, kind of with Kingsman. It's taking something you've seen before, the comedy, and trying to revolutionize it and make it different. And I think that it does what it's trying to do a lot better than Annihilation, because Annihilation, I think, gets really heady and in itself. It does it in a very confusing way, whereas Game Night uses very interesting camera angles, makes it almost like a heist kind of movie, has some backstabbing, like different things going on, but at the end of the day, it's still a comedy that you're laughing at and having a good time, even though there are dramatic elements to it.
And the difference is too, like yeah, Game Night's overall it's a comedy, but like my goodness, they spin it. They almost break the fourth wall a little bit. Like it would not have surprised me if they didn't just bring Michael C. Hall in as Michael C. Hall, or if they didn't mention something about Dexter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
right.
fucking just say a line and just acknowledge it and just indulge in it, because it is really good at what it's doing. And Annihilation is, like I said, it's reading a book that's this thick versus having a little fun like article on Facebook.
Game
like,
Night's very much a comic. Like it's very much like a quick little comic comparison with it, but
a well thought out one.
it's not bad. And it's not bad.
Yeah.
But I will say that for all of Game Night's like fun, which that's the impression I remember leaving with it. It leaves much less of an impression on me, not just in its sense of movie, but I remember thinking like I struggle to remember a lot of what I liked about this. That's my issue with it. I'm like, yeah, Rachel McAdams is fire. Yeah, the one cop is awkward, and then it's all kind of funny at the end. And a guy like goes into a jet engine unexpectedly. That was kind of it. But then like there's a lot of parts in the middle that I'm like I very much forget. And I remember thinking I'm like, yeah, they kind of have fun. And if you told me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that was kind of. But Annihilation just leaves such an impression in a way that I remember thinking like, wow.
It's eerie and it's
Yeah.
It leaves you thinking.
It left
Yeah.
me lingering. It's a movie that lingered with me for a while, and I think for that reason I will continue to back it. It's not just I like it. I like it because I think it's better. It's a movie that
Annihilation
sticks
left
with
me mad at the end, because it's doing that thing where like the director's like telling me to think about it. I'm like, you didn't
Well,
earn.
I think
in my
Annihilation's
opinion.
biggest issue for me was just the dancing and the choreography scene, because to me like that was like. Okay, like it's not that I completely got it,
on the
but like
mimic
now I
fight or
really don't
whatever?
fucking get it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I could have left that a little more open ended. Anyways, Nathan, what are your thoughts? You still sticking with?
No, he said Annihilation.
Yeah,
He's doing that by
100%.
mine.
I'm gonna stand with Game Night for sure. I think that Annihilation, of course. Well, I was gonna say Big Fish went down to Game Night. Now I'm backing it, but
Yeah.
I think that Game Night's a much more
Yeah,
fun
kill it.
watch.
It kills your best friend.
And it's
What do you-
again, it's a plot. it's an actual plot that's doing something interesting.
Money?
Let's do it.
Let's do
Money
monies.
breakers. Money breakers.
I hate this marker.
What?
And it hates you, Price.
Yeah. I think we're just going to share.
Sure.
Okay.
One,
Alright.
2, 3,
three.
$0.
7.
12.
Holy shit! I was glad
All right.
someone spent
Yeah.
some big bucks on that one.
Yeah, I just wanted to spend some money. I may not use it here after this next round, so.
That's fair.
That's true.
If you don't
You
use
gotta
it, you
use
lose
it
it,
now.
boys. If you don't use it, you lose.
That was me in the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so my bad. I have to
I'll say
jot
I'll
that down. The next one is gonna
Interesting.
be
Sevens is the bar there, right above.
Super
Safe betters.
Troopers versus The Big Lebowski.
Here is my argument for Super Troopers. I think it's funnier. Tee. I
Oh,
enjoy Super
man.
Troopers, and I love The Big Lebowski. It's
You
a
know
classic, and there's an argument for it. But by God, Super Troopers, you put that on, and I smile every time.
I don't think I'm eating my words just yet. Super Troopers, sure, it's skit based. It's
Go
very
ahead.
dumb. There's no real plot in it. I mean, there's a little one,
A little bit.
but it's also going up against a stoner comedy, and I have zero. Shame.
Objectively, it's two stoner comedies against each other. So truly, this is
Yeah.
this is the fairest of matches.
You're
It's
right,
just-
and
it's
I like
it's
one a
what
lot
What's
more.
your flavor of stoner?
It's
comedy?
true. This is true.
Canada, baby.
Can't.
I don't remember Super Troopers too awfully well, and I
That's fine.
remember
We'll put it on again.
I remember a lot of things that I didn't like about The Big Lebowski, because again, it does that like artsy stuff that misses completely, and there are some good moments, but those good moments, I feel like Super Troopers does have more of them. I mean, I remember the beginning of that movie vividly.
You
love
always
it.
like Mexico.
Yeah, I'm going Super Troopers.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
I think that's gonna be the last of my movies on this.
Oh no!
It's a
I
big
take it back! I
one.
take it back! It's the big one.
He's already dead.
He's already. I'm sorry.
It's
Nathan.
okay.
We
Super
expect that
Troopers
from
is
your
fun.
movies, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of
Lebowski
us
got pretty
do.
far.
You did
Had his head,
good.
had his head to really put it down. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, so Super Troopers
Super
moves
Troopers,
on.
yeah.
The next one is going to be Oh Brother Where Art Thou versus Lego Batman.
Lego Batman! Ah!
All right, I will say this.
It's
Lego
Oh
Batman.
It's Oh Brother.
It's Lego Batman.
It's got to be Oh Brother, but I will say that you got a 10 over there that really loved Lego Batman.
Yeah, and you've got me who
It's
could
a perfect movie.
argue that it's.
It's a perfect movie in your opinion.
All right, let's not mince words here, boys. We know where this is going. Get that money.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are swaying on this one. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's not bored.
Maybe it's you.
You smell.
It could be.
Uno,
Dos.
dos, tres.
Tres.
$0.
8.
13.
13.
Why- Are you guys on the same freaking wavelength? over
No,
there?
we-
What the hell?
I think
So
we
what
both
is
just.
that?
Yeah.
Then?
Oh, that's a good. I don't know between
What
the
is
two of us. We definitely don't bid. Flip a coin.
For what?
If we both bid the same thing and we're in.
No, we said whichever one had the highest average.
No, I know.
No,
but
that they
between the
both
two of us, we
bid the
both
same
bid
amount
on
of
the same
money.
amount of money. In
Oh, you both did 13?
Wait,
Yeah.
that was all your money.
Yeah, it was both
Yeah,
of our money. We
yeah.
both went all in on it, but we both can't buy it. So I
Let's flip a coin.
didn't think about it. So I think flip a coin. Just keep it simple. Not
Oh,
flipping
now
it.
flipping a coin.
Yeah.
is okay.
It's the only time I would say flipping a coin feels appropriate.
Get
with
a
it.
card out.
Hey, I'll just get a card.
No, you're
All right,
fucking
who's
cards.
doing
Get a
what?
real coin.
I
Oh,
don't-
Jesus Christ.
I don't think you want that on camera.
No, you don't
Who's
want
doing
that.
face up? Who's doing
No,
what?
There's a coin somewhere.
We can do a card that doesn't matter.
We'll
Costco
flip
up or
the
Costco down?
little icon
All right,
on
yeah.
it.
What's
Yeah.
the other side? Okay, white or
I
blue?
want tails.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
we'll
so
do
you
my
want
Western
white.
ID.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
Bryce,
God.
that have clear
Ready?
blue or white?
Give me the bottom.
You want bottom?
Yeah. I don't even.
It's bottom.
This was so.
All right, Dylan lost it.
All right.
Dylan's out.
Money's out.
He's still got an opinion though.
Oh boy,
No,
my
we're-
opinion's the
we're-
strongest typically.
We're
too.
I mean, we're both voting in the same
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
we've
So Lego.
got the same yums. And you know what? The
The
money runs out. The money runs out after this round, boys. So don't you
That's true.
forget.
All right, the next one is going to be Parasite versus Uncut Gems.
Oh, buddy, I can't wait to beat this shit.
As both of these are my movies that I love very much, Parasite is a solid 10 for me. And it's not like a critic 10 for me. It is a personal 10. I love this movie. It's in my top 5 movies of all time. Everything it does is perfect. It hits so many different genres in the movie and does them all super well. There are many different memorable moments from this movie, like when you see the guy from the basement for the first time, when the party scene happens for the first time, when they get the phone call after they're having their party, and that's when the tone shifts in the movie. Like
The fucking Rock.
so many of it, yes, and of course using The Rock. Like the movie is amazing, and Uncut Gems I think is good, and it really shows what Adam Sandler can do, and it's a very different kind of movie. But Parasite is just a solid 10.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, you had your time.
Yeah, well, Uncut Gems is good, but man, I still remember the main thing that I felt after watching it. It's like I just felt dirty.
Oh yeah.
I felt grimy.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad movie, but God, it's like it shone some light on like the darker side of everything. Like,
But it does.
oh, you like New York? How about fucking sports betting and
Mhm.
sleazy diamond dealers?
But
and,
it doesn't leave you leaving too grimy at the end because he gets what's coming.
Yeah, but you're still having watched all of it, and you're
Yeah,
like,
but it just,
man, I got.
Yeah, but it
I was
feels-
I was there.
But the whole
Yeah, I
thing
don't
is like
know.
he's the
Bryce would say that's a strength of the movie.
he's
Yeah.
the impetus for everything happening, and he gets cleansed from this
It's
earth.
true. That is true.
Is that a Bible word? I don't know what that word means.
Probably. Probably from Metcalf County.
Probably. Yeah, so Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite
Yeah.
moves forward. I think.
Yeah.
I love both of them, but Parasite is.
I don't love both of them.
So-
Parasite wins.
Looks like the only thing Uncut Gems was able to take down was Eternal Sunshine because of money.
Well, and bias.
Yeah.
And bias. Nobody even watched that movie. Who let them vote?
Yeah. I mean, that might have been Price's favorite movie.
It might have been. We never know.
All right.
It wouldn't.
We'll see what kind of love comes on next with the other guys versus the Punisher.
How dare you? How dare you put
Oh,
I
man,
enjoy so much.
I've already forgotten that the Punisher managed to squeak it past Gladiator.
There's a little money being spent.
Oh,
both of
Punisher!
those.
All right, buddy. Listen, I know you love Punisher, but I also know you love the other guys. Come on,
Yeah.
do it for me.
I mean, my vote is on the other guys.
Yeah,
Mine's the other
this,
guys.
This is
I
not.
do
This isn't
like
gonna
the
be
Punisher,
anything.
Wait, well, I don't know if you.
I love the Punisher.
I love the Punisher too.
I'm
man.
gonna stay with the Punisher, and if you want to make things interesting, we can make some things interesting.
Deal.
I do think the Punisher's a great
I
movie.
mean, it's a solid movie, and the
And I
other guys
think
is
it-
great, and we meme it all the time.
No, okay,
Quote
so-
it all the time.
Don't
Love
do
it,
this
love it,
for
love
the
it. I
meme,
will say though,
please.
no, I will say the third act of the other guys. I rewatched this again recently, like not really recently, but like one time since we've watched it on podcast. And the third act fucking does drag for a
It
billion
sucks.
years. The third act sucks.
Third act is
The
awful.
Punisher drags the entire movie.
No, the Punisher is a
You
good
just
time.
hated
And the
that
main
movie.
character is a wet napkin.
No.
Like he
Oh, you mean the
actually
Punisher?
sucks.
You mean the Punisher?
You
Yes.
mean you mean the guy who lost all of his family in like an
Yeah.
He's
island?
boring
scheme?
as shit.
No, you know what? It's the Punisher.
Punisher. Let's
Let's
freaking
go to money.
vote.
Let's go to money.
Let's go.
I can't.
Unless you guys want to be swayed. I don't see you
I
voting,
think it's
and I know he's
absurd
not.
I mean,
that this
I-
is an argument.
I'm not that.
You also
I'm
super
not
didn't
that
love the other guys. I
attached
feel
to
like.
the other guys.
Right.
I mean, I liked it, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with the Punisher going.
All right.
Like,
Nathan, they're trying to
I'm
get out of
pretty-
paying
I mean,
money.
I mean,
pretty
honestly,
Do which one you
about
want to
it.
do.
I mean, honestly, yeah, and no, he's not being because you can check the review. He was like, "This is funny, but I don't love it," and like, I love the jokes, but then past that, God, as a movie, it's unnecessarily long, and
Dylan, I
The
bet you
political
gave the
stuff.
other guys at least 2 points higher than the Punisher.
no,
I'd say it was pretty close.
I'd give you
Maybe
probably a
and
point,
half.
maybe point and a half tops.
That's a lot. On your scale of 6 to 10, that's a lot.
Yeah, but these were like probably 8s to like 8.5 to 9 or something. Like these are high.
Nathan, I would
points.
love for you to check this.
Nah, you can check.
Punisher.
What did I give Punisher? And then what
It's
I give
the
the
last
other guys?
column.
You gave the Punisher a 7,
Okay, that tracks.
and
And then
Probably an 8.5.
yeah, 8.5, probably right on the other guys.
God, when did we do the other guys?
God, forever.
It was
ago.
at the very, very, very beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It was the very first one.
No, it wasn't the first one Game Night was. The
Bruh.
second, the
Oh,
next
yeah.
season,
Okay.
the next season we agreed on
I
it.
just
You
meant it
gave
was
you gave the other guys an 8.
Yeah, see, so about a point difference on that one. These movies are very close.
I'm
with me.
surprised.
Well, that's because I'm consistent with my
gave
score.
each of them
Yeah.
a 7.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
you
very
really
on
are
the fence
splitting the
about
hairs
it.
on that one. I'll say,
Punisher was fun.
All right,
yeah,
let's go.
let's do it.
Wait, are we? Or
Yeah.
Nathan, are you swayed?
Or yeah,
I
that's
mean,
I'm sorry.
yeah, right.
I am so on the fence that
You're-
I don't care.
All
if
right,
the
Punisher gets it.
wins.
Punisher
All right, well then we'll
moves.
just let the Punisher slide in. The black horse
Punisher
is
goes.
stomping.
That is a vote to
That is a
abstain.
vote, vote,
That's
vote,
a vote.
All right, now the one that we all came for.
Yeah, it is.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once versus Whiplash. What will come out of this one?
Price, I would like to hear your thoughts early on.
All right, that's fine.
Sorry, Mason. I know you raised your hand,
It's okay.
but I'm the teacher, I guess.
Yeah.
I love Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I know like just because I'm saying that kind of means that I'm going to pick Whiplash, but like I truly love Everything Everywhere All at Once. I went to the theater to go see it, went out of my effort. Kelly had never even heard of it, and I was like, I think you'll like this
Didn't
movie.
you see it
Everybody
5
does.
times before the Doctor Strange trailer, you animal, Kelly Jr.?
But I do love it, and it's got a lot. It's got more emotion in it than I think than Whiplash. I think
Yeah.
Whiplash has more heart.
Whiplash has one emotion. It's on a very big spectrum of emotion.
I think it has more heart in Whiplash, but I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once has more emotion because that point where you finally figure out like the depth of a love that the husband has for the wife is outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great.
Cool.
But the biggest knock I have against Everything Everywhere All at Once is its length. I get that like it has a lot of concepts that it's dealing with and it's trying to tell a big story, but at the same time it is a small story. It's basically like a time traveling very small scale story, and I think it takes too long to do that, and it does dwell on its jokes too long. I mean, the fingers, I think it very much outstays its welcome.
I fucking
As
hate
much
those
as I
figures.
as much as I love little Ratatouille, whatever it is.
Oh, Raccoonatouille.
Raccoontouille. It
Yeah,
does stay.
Raccoony.
It does stay
Raccoony.
around too.
Raccoony.
Raccoon.
Yeah, I
There's-
always say it wrong.
There's a lot of things they think that they hit gold on, and it does stay around too
Oh,
long.
then it is gold. That
And
is amazing.
there are too many action scenes that go on too long. The biggest one I have, the best example is the
Office
one with the
Builder?
trophy, where
Yeah.
they try using it as the plug, to be their thing to like send them or
Where they
whatever.
just kept
Yeah.
kinda
That fight
plug
goes
'em.
on so long. Like, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of the fight scenes do go on so long. The best fight scenes are the ones that have the big emotional moments of it, like the climax where they're going up the stairs and like
It's the
she's
peaceful
hitting them with the
resolution.
love, with the peaceful
Yeah.
resolution, and it kind of goes into their head and how like
Giving everyone what they want.
it's the most
Yeah.
peaceful. It's a very good flip on what you expect from that kind of fight at that end. It's got very memorable moments, and I'm speaking a lot for Everything All at Once. But man, Whiplash is it's such a tight movie. Like everything about it is driving on all cylinders. You don't like Andrew Neiman. I know this is my big spiel.
No,
I know
you're good.
In a second.
No, you're good.
But him and between J.K. Simmons, like that battle of wits between the two, I think drives this movie, and it sticks around as long as it needs to. And the finale, which I don't think this even matters anymore, but the finale of this movie is the best finale I've seen in any movie. You see the climactic battle between these two with a battle of wits that none of it is told. None of it is told to you. It's all shown. You see it in their eyes, how they're acting towards each other, and how he's drumming and like looking at the other group and looking at J.K. Simmons, and then they finally get to that moment of understanding between them, and they have that look in their eyes where they see each other as equals, and then the movie just ends.
Mhm.
It's a perfect ending to
Wow.
what I think is a perfect movie, because this is, as much as I can say it, I have not spent $1 yet.
No.
I have not spent $1, and I would put everything on Whiplash to win. I love this movie. It is my favorite movie. Like, over Step Brothers, Billy Madison. I've seen this movie 5 times
Jesus.
since Mason
Today.
picked it.
Yeah. It
So
might
he
well
was
be.
like-
It was like 6 months ago.
I know. It
5
was.
times. I adore this movie, and I truly think it's perfect.
So here's why, at least in my opinion, the ending isn't perfect. Because there's this clear homoerotic romance between them, and they don't fuck. And this movie definitely deserves one fuck, and they don't. I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once, even with their fucking fingers.
I think this is an interesting comparison because both of these movies surprise you
Yes.
with
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being about a simple premise but surprising you, one with like how well it can be executed and the other and just how crazily it can be executed.
Yeah.
And I'm on side with just the more absurd. I
I
think
get that.
Whiplash is
Yeah.
great in
Well, sure.
what it managed to do and make you like interested in something that you wouldn't like. I wouldn't care about normally. But
Jazz
I'm
band?
a very I'm a very I'm
I
a
care
very
about jazz
visual
bands.
person, and Everything Everywhere does it visually.
Yeah, buddy. If as a visual
far
fan,
above
you're
what
so.
Whiplash does.
But what visually like does it do to really like knock your socks off? A lot of people talk about the visuals of this movie, but I've watched it multiple times. I'm like, it's got fine visuals. It's
Well,
more the
I think
editing
it's just
that
the
like
chaos.
No,
does
but it's
more of the
chaos on
work.
display, and I'm not gonna answer for you. But I know for me, it's more so. It's just that like, again, the importance of what's shown on the screen, and it's showing its insanity, but it's still like doing it right.
Yeah, but I'm asking for like examples because visuals are like examples.
Right. I mean, case in point, right?
I thought it was all just makeup. Like
You
wasn't-
get- well,
like,
you
if
get
you
to a
look at
certain
the
degree.
Office
The
part.
costuming,
Yeah.
the
I think the costume. Is
The way
pretty
people
good.
pop whenever what's her
yeah,
face is
like
Oh,
the
yeah, the
way that
confetti.
she like fights
Yeah.
Yeah.
people, the like main antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Where it's
Rose,
just like
right,
surprising you constantly with just what can happen to somebody in this absurdist world.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first time you see her come out of that elevator is
Yeah.
maybe my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just, like Bizarros, everybody. It's like
Yeah.
it looks like it truly is. It's like if you were watching The Mask, like action applied to
Oh,
somewhere
but,
else.
yeah, but like newer and more fun.
right, and not Jim
way
Carrey.
deeper.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
For everything that everyone just said, I agree with, especially the fact that Nathan, I was thinking the whole time, just like The Social Network, you shouldn't care about this topic. You shouldn't care, but this movie does such a good job, I'm going with Whiplash, of giving you this little kernel, right?
Mhm.
Well, what's inside that kernel? And they just blow it up.
Mhm.
And it's just like, oh, wow, that was actually kind of exciting. Wow, that was intense. Wow, that was J.K. Simmons' best performance I've ever seen in my life.
And he always gives it.
Well, I was supposed to say he's always good though. That's
Yeah.
all.
No, but I do agree. It is his best, but he
Yeah.
does like it's not like an Adam Sandler thing where you're like that was his best.
Right. Well, it's not.
Like
yeah.
that's not a high
Because
bar.
there's a disparity, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not a Nick Cage kind of scenario. Like
Yeah.
he's a very talented actor.
Yeah.
But like, what did I just say about Nick Cage? My bad.
Whoa.
He's solid.
Yeah, it's all the time.
Have you seen Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Is it on the wheel?
Nathan
Yeah,
said,
Will,
what?
it's on the wheel.
So yeah, it's Whiplash. I think that Everything Everywhere, to Price's point, it's such a long and drawn out story. It's great, but you just for the same reason you guys felt tired after Mad Max, that was me after Everything Everywhere. Okay, it's a bagel. Okay, I get it. It's like a circle. It's like the
So fucking
wedding
funny.
ring. I get it. Okay.
So funny.
And the journey there is really funny, and it's great. It's a solid movie.
I put everything onto the bagel. My
But
dog.
again, that's another one that they kind of that joke ran its course.
No,
and I think-
I disagree.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, it was about acceptance. It was about a lot of things. It was about love. It was about all
I
that.
think the fact that it just ultimately ends up telling a really strong family story in such a ridiculous way is the thing that's so impressive about it.
And
Yeah,
like,
Like the visuals are great, but the fact that it comes back down from all of that to like hitting really strong emotional beats too
Yeah.
is impressive.
That's my favorite part of the movie. Is
Yeah.
the emotional heart of the movie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
all right, we have a tie. Unless you guys want to sway, because
I was about to say, Price, prove
yeah.
it. We've got 2 rounds left. Where else are you going to put it?
$25 because nobody else has that much.
That's I mean, I've been kind of like chipping in on the other ones, but like that's the one like I
And
love
now God will determine
well, I
its
mean,
fate.
Whiplash
Yeah.
is my favorite movie, but Everything Everywhere Else is like a 9 or 9.5 for me.
Yeah.
So I love both of them.
Um,
And Whiplash isn't even my movie I picked.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
as the Punisher... No, that's not true. It's a better movie. As Whiplash has shown. Capitalism will prevail, and
it
will
is.
be it'll be the better movie. So Whiplash takes Everything Everywhere,
All
and
you gotta
probably
do
the
is-
biggest upset.
Spend a little money.
All you gotta do is spend money.
I'm out.
All right. The
And he's
next movie, the last one that we can spend dollars on.
Well,
Fancy
you
dollars.
and Nathan can spend all.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you guys out?
Some of us are broke on that. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this right
Well,
here.
he's
for-
got me.
Yeah.
A Quiet Place versus Hateful Eight.
I'm giving it to A Quiet Place. I don't know how everybody else feels.
I'm giving it to A Quiet Place because if I hear da da na 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 that fucking score, yeah, God damn.
I'll also just nip it in the bud. It's a Quiet
Give
Place.
it a Quiet Place.
It is a
Good.
fantastic.
Because I was gonna think there's some collusion if I pick Hateful Eight and you do too.
Yeah, I would be like, sir, someone needs you to see your phones and your text messages.
We keep talking about starting here expectation wise, and then that was me on Hateful Eight. I
Yeah.
really did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I was going to, even with its length. But Quiet Places.
But Quiet Place, I was up here and I still went up here.
Well, yeah, Quiet Places. It was. Oh, you want sci-fi? Cool. Oh, how about another challenge? You don't want any words? Okay.
Yeah.
You want some monsters? Not sci-fi monsters. Fucking monsters.
Monster.
Yeah. You want a deaf kid? Let's add to the
Fucking
dynamic.
love it when they have deaf kids to these movies.
Yes.
It's
It's
my
just crazy.
favorite.
Just,
Yeah.
they did a lot of things all
Yeah,
at
they
once.
I just wish they didn't show the monsters so soon.
Oh yeah,
Well-
the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just showed your speed though.
Yeah, you definitely don't see it in all of its gore and design.
It
I don't
literally
know.
rolled through there like a wheel.
Right, yeah.
And I just feel like it
wheel.
also is and they just use the monsters too much, in my opinion. I think you see them too often, and that's it.
I wonder how you feel about 2.
Dude, and
Haven't
some of
seen
the coolest scenes too is the red light bulbs. Hey, mom's having a baby. Red light
Oh
bulbs.
yeah.
I
Oh my
thought that
god, how
was a really
ten-
cool
First of all,
scene.
just peak thriller. It's what I said in the review. I said this is honestly, in my opinion, maybe right next to Jurassic Park as absolute peaks.
I
of
just got
thriller.
goosebumps thinking the dad just goes.
Yeah, dude.
ugh.
Krasinski fucking killed it. And the fact that she's going under the water as the thing comes. Oh my fucking god, this movie's so good.
Yeah.
I still personally think Hateful Eight is better. It's more of my kind of movie. It's more of a
It's
more of a meaty,
slower burn.
dialogue, character-driven movie.
Slow
Whereas Quiet Place is
Yeah.
more about the world and how this family's
Quiet
dealing
burn.
with it.
Yeah.
But I totally see the merit in it, though.
Nathan, can you just bet $13 on it just for it to win, and so you can use that
Well, I
money?
mean,
There's no
You get
time.
nothing for
Can
keeping
we go
it.
get a Happy Meal with our fantasy
You
dollars?
absolutely cannot. It gets you nothing after
Damn.
this round.
All right, so let's take a break there. Quiet Place moves on.
We are into our top
There's 16 teams left.
16. We're down to 16 now. What?
No,
I thought
shoot,
we were
eight.
Yeah, I was going to say we're at 8 now, but
it's top 8.
we are in our
We got a lot of
top
letters
8.
over
And
here.
I don't know if we want to split this into 2 videos or not, but we're
Yes.
just going to keep recording it for the sake of recording anyway. So
I'm gonna go
Just
get
do
a
one
drink
long
real
one.
quick.
yeah, I think we'll just grind the one long one at this point. I think we'll fly through these ones.
That's fine.
Maybe famous last words. All right, so into round
We'll see.
into the top 8 cuts. Now we have a new little tiebreaker system. We're gonna need some post-it notes wherever I gave those to. Price,
Yeah.
I'm sure. You have a pen over there.
Yeah, but I need it.
So our top 8 picks.
Are we
Oh,
going
were we
to-
not doing that before?
No, we were going to, but then Price did make a good point to say that we should do this with
I'm gonna
whoever's
break.
valid now.
With what? Oh.
What's actually in the
I'm
top
gonna
8.
break no matter what they say.
Okay,
I'm gonna break.
fine.
All right, while you break, give me the post-it notes then. You scrub. What are you doing?
Should we cut this then?
Yeah, we'll
Shit.
cut
When
those.
do we show this?
When do we show what? Hold on to it. Don't show me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I actually didn't even read it, so it worked out with it. So you hold on to these. You put your number 1 and your number 2 out of the top 8 list, and you hoard them. And if we get into tiebreakers, we all will have to sit there and say, was this on yours? And if you say yes, and then we have to reveal and say which one has the most points between us.
I think we should cut because I have a lot of qualms with this system.
Oh my god.
Let's just cut. We can just
All right,
reintroduce.
fine.
Yeah.
Cut. I
Or
don't
we
know.
can add it to the same thing. We'll just say, oh
Yeah,
man,
we'll
we're
just-
back.
Yeah. All right.
Clap sync. I did it first.
So what's your complaint? What's your complaint?
Because, what if?
And I don't need a little pillow barrier.
No,
You don't.
I don't think so, right?
no. But the bidding was fun though, right?
I like
is
the
that
bidding.
where you were doing that? To...
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
these
keeping-
jokers kept looking at my
Ah.
stuff.
I wouldn't look. What are you talking about? This
They
joke.
didn't even buy me dinner
I
first.
don't think I did, but I might have.
He did. I definitely
Fucking
didn't.
saw it.
I didn't, and I wouldn't have, sir. Thank you.
I might
I'm
not.
an outstanding gentleman.
I have integrity.
I might have, and I might have.
and he did. And he did. Welcome back
Oh.
to the F-Movie
Alright.
Podcast.
That's a good way to get everybody back in.
We're in our top 8. It's a good time. We're having a great time. It's fun.
Having a good time.
Having a good time. Bow, 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 bow.
Whiplash shooting to the sky.
This is gonna be a long night if we just don't
Oh,
start
boy.
get rolling. So, how do we kill Whiplash on this bracket? Let's find out.
Yeah.
But first, we've got to go through all the other pre-warm-up matches.
Hey, listen, we got some good ones.
We do. We got some good. You know what? This top 8.
What
Ooh.
do we got?
What do
We'll
we
run
got?
through the matchups
Mason,
first.
Run through the
It's-
matchups first. Let's
Give
get,
us
let's
the
get,
announcement.
Let's get their palate
It's
wet.
Jojo Rabbit versus Annihilation in the top
Put some
spot.
gusto on it. This is the top 8.
Hey,
Tough. Hate.
All right, so Jojo Rabbit and Annihilation.
Yep.
And we got Super Troopers and Lego Batman in the next one, okay?
Woo.
Oh
in
yeah.
the other group, we have
So-
Parasite and The Punisher.
Oh god.
Oh, the peas, big peas. Pee-pees.
And then lastly is Whiplash and A Quiet Place.
A movie that's too loud and a movie that's just loud enough.
It's loud in some ways.
That's a good little contrast pairing, if I think so.
I think all of these are
they're
pretty
all
good.
interesting pairings.
Yeah, it is. This is.
There's one that is definitely
Shut up.
not going to go well.
Let's not talk about
We'll-
this yet.
we'll
You
see.
don't have any money, Mason.
No, but
I got my wallet.
we do have slots. So on this tiebreaker system, now we have spent all of our money. Well, how do we break ties then? Well, what we decided, I guess me and everybody agreed to, is that we would all pick 1 and 2 top movies. Those movies are now weighted with points. Number 1, we'll say for the argument of arbitrariness, is worth 2 points. Your second spot is worth 1 point. If your movie is in the tiebreakers with it, then you have to say, hey, my one is in this tiebreaker. And if they are, then whichever movie has the most points wins. Now, Dylan, what happens if they still get a tie? Well, then we kind of get boring and we just go to the highest average score and say that, okay, well, we all universally agree that this movie was better than this movie by our averages, which is boring, which is why we have something before then. But without further ado,
Let's talk about Jojo Rabbit versus Annihilation.
my feelings are hurt. I don't know how to vote. I don't want to pick.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
All right, you know what? I'll start.
Go ahead.
My thing about comedies is, and I preach it every freaking
I
second,
can't wait to
every
hear how you feel
single
about
time.
Annihilation's comedy.
No. Yeah, no. Jojo Rabbit, is it a comedy? Yes. Do I think that comedies have the legs to go the distance? No, I don't.
Traditionally.
Except if they have a solid plot, or if they have something that's engaging the entire way through. Stoner comedies do not. Let's be real. They just
Well,
nothing. For me,
Every now and again they do. And they're called Super Troopers.
I was gonna say, is it called Big Lebowski? Because I was dead on that one.
No, well, that one is a classic.
But Jojo Rabbit does something so freaking differently. Jojo Rabbit just, I don't want to say it breaks any walls. I think it knows what it is. It definitely has plenty of comedy to match all of the drama. The mother-son, dynamic, I get it all.
Mhm.
And I think that it is a far superior comedy for what it is.
I love that you keep calling it a comedy. I know Price is just like, fuck you. For it.
Well, but the thing is, he's going up against Annihilation here, so
It's the funniest of the two, Price. You
we
gotta
know
keep it
what's gonna
that.
happen there.
Yeah.
I haven't been so hot on Annihilation this entire bracket.
Really?
Hell, I think I tried to take it down with I Am Legend.
every
and
time you've tried.
Game
you-
Night and
And we keep
Well,
pushing it.
no, it was just Game
it was
Night.
just Game Night.
Ah, well, anyways.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit for me. I'm a hard sell on Jojo Rabbit.
I isn't it hard to buy?
What?
Well, anyway, yeah, I've been doing a lot of legwork with Nathan on Annihilation, rightfully so, and I would love to see this keep on carrying. But Jojo Rabbit's my baby. I love that movie. I love it. It's so good. Price is so wrong, and I love it. The end. I'm not going to elaborate further. I fucking love Annihilation, but I feel like now that McCarthy over here has now suddenly got the thing, now we're running out of votes for.
The problem is, like,
I don't know. You actually don't care too much for Jojo Rabbit, so you could speed.
You don't know where I'm going.
You
yet.
could flip flop at
Nathan?
this point. Yeah,
the,
Nathan.
the only drive to continue to let Annihilation roll over Jojo Rabbit is
It's not rolling. This is a
it's-
battle.
It's a contrarian decision to make. It's not one I can make. Like, Annihilation is great.
Fantastic, even.
Which one do you personally like more? That's what this list is. This is the reason he picked Brothers over Nightcrawler that one time.
I do like
it.
There's
Yeah.
other examples, but I can't think of them. It's what you
yeah,
think.
I mean, yeah.
And
yeah,
personally-
getting
which is
bought.
why I'm saying that ultimately, I mean, JoJo is still the better movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
but to you, really?
Yeah.
That's what.
I honestly would not have guessed that. I really would have put Annihilation. for you.
I think Annihilation is surprised me with just how good it was, and to me it beat everything that it came up against.
Kind of makes you want to go into the shimmer, you know?
I do. You know what? I
It
would.
makes you want to take a
So
little
you like
stroll.
JoJo more than Annihilation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
For the
I
record,
was
which would you have
actually.
voted
That's why I was drawing this right here.
for? I don't know what this is.
because this is my
This is your
experience with
Jesus.
both of these movies.
I was like, what the? It looked like you were drawing stupid. Okay, I get it.
Okay,
now,
do you
yeah.
all get what's going on though?
Yeah, we see it.
Why is JoJo not happening right
Right up
here?
there, yeah. That's definitely 2/3 into the movie.
Because like I enjoyed JoJo more than Annihilation for the majority of the movie.
Until
Till
the
they
shoe
killed the
scene.
mom and
Yeah.
ruined. And I'm not saying like I was super attached to Scarlett Johansson. It
No.
just,
Fucking Germany lost.
It's just-
cricket.
it just threw like I was getting one movie, and then when that happened, it threw something else into it, and then it tried dragging me back to the movie that it was. Like, like it did not earn that big of a dramatic moment. So that's why I brought it down to here, and the ending was pretty funny, but man, it did not bring me back to where I was prior.
Wait,
after
which
that
ending
moment.
was funny? Annihilation or?
No, JoJo.
Oh.
He's saying that Sam Rockwell and
Oh, that part. Okay.
All that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Sorry,
with
there's
them,
some dancing at the end.
with
so
them
I'm
like sending the kids at the
clones.
the people like it
Yeah.
was
The clones is so
Rebel
funny.
Like,
Wilson just
it-
strapping a potato masher and then sending him out into
it
the
was
street.
funny. So like
Yeah.
I would think I would narrowly give it to Annihilation just because it was more steady throughout, but JoJo, like I was on track to like it more, even though there was that big dramatic dip for me. So like it's a slim thing for Annihilation for me.
Here's what.
I like that scene happens because
Love
that,
that
that reminds you that this is a story about Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And
This,
that's
this story should not
We,
work.
we know. We all know.
We-
we all
we-
know. We've
we-
had this.
we've had
We've
this
had
conversation.
several times. In fact,
But
almost
that's
every
not
episode.
what that movie has led to the whole time.
Well, it is.
It's a lighthearted like you know who Hitler is and why this goofball is not who Hitler is because you know who Hitler is.
Well, it's the only way you can get away with it.
So honorary tip of the hat, the fact that Annihilation went further than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
So in this bracket,
Yeah.
And it didn't even get bought, I don't think.
nah.
But I mean, if
Maybe
if
it
you're
did.
tipping hats around here, Punisher also got past Everything Everywhere.
Well, it's
You're right.
It is.
It Alright, so
Jojo Rabbit moves on.
moves into the final four.
Not surprising.
Not surprised.
Alright, the next one should be
It
a
does
fun
break my heart, though.
little thing with Super Troopers
Stop.
versus Lego Batman.
Fucking stop it! These are why? Why is it always mine against mine? Why do you keep doing this to
You have a
me?
strong top there.
I do. I'm topping. Hold on. And
He's like
I started
he's like a
doing that.
Beyblade.
Yeah. I keep on spinning. Okay. Since my heart is most at stake here, although you gave out Lego Batman a higher score, which is still baffling to me. Super Troopers is one of my favorite movies of all time. But Lego Batman is the best Batman movie of all time. And Batman's my favorite. Why? I don't know. I defer.
Alright.
Just keep me
Oh,
out of
I'm
it.
gonna go ahead and just say Super Troopers. I don't care much for Lego products. Like
I don't either. That's why Lego
Films.
Batman is so good.
films wise.
Yeah.
I don't care for the video games. I don't care for many of those things because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Legos were fun when I was a kid. They're not nearly as fun
They're
now
less-
watching
they're
them
less
being
fun.
produced massively all over the screen. But anyways,
This is a baby's movie.
Super Troopers is such a good movie, and it's what 2000
2001.
such a long time ago.
This movie is 22 years old and it's still fucking good.
And I still put it on and chuckle. I
Oh,
mean,
every
you've
time-
got Farva, you've got it all. I mean, just everything.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's so many quotable moments.
Hey, Favreau, where's that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the wall? And the
you mean
mozzarella?
shenanigans? Yeah.
Yeah, I pissed
I don't
off.
know. I
So
just
fucking good.
Lego Batman was better than I thought it was gonna be.
The lobster eating, the crunching.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
like
pulls
that
it out of a
microwave.
This is
Yeah.
so good.
That was Price's least favorite part. That was probably my favorite.
Oh,
Like
that's just because he's
scene.
mad. 'cause
If you
he
want to
knows
lead
you
into mine, like
Yeah, go
I
on.
don't remember any of these things from Super Troopers.
don't. Oh my god.
None of them. I remember the beginning like the most, and then
Okay.
the rest of it, like I really don't.
Do you remember the French music people
Like-
being pulled over?
I genuinely
Yeah.
don't.
Boom, boom.
They're German, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
German.
Yeah,
That-
sorry,
that's
sorry.
the thing that always.
I know
sticks
for
out
a
to
reason
me,
that would stick out
because
to
that
you.
I don't know, like as a teen driving around, I would think about like whenever I was playing really loud
Yeah.
techno music driving
Yeah.
my cars, like that was.
No, you were-
kinda
that
like-
was you.
That kind of happened in my head.
Yeah.
he was trained in
Not
rabbit.
that I like.
Not that you would tell officers that you'd be like, oh, well.
I don't know.
Well,
Anyway.
before I got cut off, I don't remember
Sorry.
like anything from Super Troopers. I remember like I liked it pretty well, but I really don't remember anything. Lego Batman at least left an impression on me. And again, I don't think too highly of either of these movies. So if I'm gonna have to vote for one, I'm gonna have to go with Lego Batman.
It's the animated
Especially
movie.
for,
Yep.
I mean, Nathan did give it a 10. So
Yeah.
Hey, and I get that. But
Yeah,
I like
I'm going
Super Troopers
Lego.
a lot.
I'm going Lego because I just don't remember Super Troopers.
I remember every.
Alright, so can we call this a tie and come back to it?
I agree.
Lego,
No,
we
Lego
can-
Batman.
No, it's 2 Lego Batman. It's 1 Super Troopers.
No.
So
Well, you
it's
said he
Lego
def-
Batman.
I said I defer. Yeah.
So
I
it's
can't.
Lego
I thought you meant
Batman.
deferred to like
Oh,
come
until
back
the end.
later. Yeah.
No,
If there's
that's
a
not how this
Maybe
works.
I'll circle back around.
no, when you
It's
I passed.
Lego.
I passed.
Well, no, in my sense, a pass is come back to me.
No.
In anything but a TI game.
Yeah, I don't. What? Yeah.
Fine,
That's
alright,
fair.
Lego, that's
You're
fine.
right. Well, I don't feel bad about it going to Lego. Both of those
That's
are
fine.
wins and both of those
Okay.
are losses to me. So.
The next matchup is Parasite versus The Punisher. The one that we all honestly thought was going to happen from the get-go.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I agree. This was actually this is the main event. Actually,
Yeah,
really.
this is the TV
This
table.
is really gonna decide what happens
Yeah.
So,
at the end of
This
this.
is big.
Can we agree to just go right to
One,
Oh, yeah, just
2, 3. The
Punisher.
Punisher. All right, fair
All
enough.
right, we're moving
Yeah,
on.
there we go. Moving on.
All right, is there
All
any
right.
talk from anybody for real? Because I am sticking with The Punisher because
Over
Parasite?
listen,
Yeah.
I gave Parasite
Oh
probably
my
an
God,
8 to an 8.5.
Mason.
I gave The Punisher a 9.
You did give it a 9.
Parasite is fantastic. It's such a good
Such a good-
story with great character introductions along the way.
Oh my god.
It's also subtitled from another country.
You're right,
that
you're right.
I can't just funnily watch. I can't watch movies with subtitles unless I'm paying full on attention. I love just putting movies on.
Yeah, I will say, if you ask me right now, Dylan, which movie would you rather put on and watch?
Right now.
Punisher or Parasite?
100%.
Dylan,
Punisher.
you were up there with me. You gave this like a 9.5.
I love this movie. Parasite's fantastic. I'm not fighting you on that at all. There's
I-
no argument there.
No, I
I
promised myself I'm not going to do what I did last time. Do the meme vote. I don't give. I
your-
don't care now.
If I can defend myself, I just do the exact same thing with Whiplash and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a mouthful.
EEAO is what you're wanting to call it.
Bagel
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yeah, that's
It's
good. That's a
almost
good
too much of a movie, whereas Whiplash gives you this good thing. Now, granted, Whiplash and Punisher are nothing alike, but for the reason that it is a chunky movie, I'm gonna just not.
So
not
that
vote
means that the
Parasite.
winner of this would fight the winner of A Quiet Place and Whiplash, right?
Yeah. But that's my vote, is Punisher. You guys can do
Parasite.
whatever.
Like that.
I-
That's all. That's all I'm going
I am-
for.
Baffled.
Hey,
I don't
You
think
all do.
there's-
You do you.
I know.
so what's
It's a
your
free
vote?
podcast.
What's your
So
vote?
your vote's Parasite? Is it, and you said Punisher.
Please just ask that and give me your most blank face.
Let's come
because
back.
that's how it should be.
Let's
No,
come
Did you put a
back.
no,
No,
I'm
not
not-
coming back.
That's
We're
not what
settling
we
it.
do.
We have to do the thing. Do we
Dylan.
do it now or later?
Punisher. Let's do the thing.
You're actually voting Punisher.
Yeah, he
I
voted
actually
Punisher
voted
at the very
Punisher.
beginning.
Because if we're picking between this and Everything Everywhere was my probably pick over Parasite, and I love them both. But
That's not the question.
So
the
that-
question
no,
is
there's too much
Punisher-
Asian. There's
He's
too much.
doing
There's
it.
too much Asian representation.
Just so you know, Dylan, I want to find everybody in your Schmodown podcast that you're friends with.
And I'm gonna kill him.
I'll tell him. I'll post it.
And
right
I'm gonna
now.
tell him, be like, the without any context, it was Parasite versus the Punisher.
And they're gonna giggle and they're gonna say, "Hell yeah!"
Hell yeah! They're like, yeah.
No, they're not.
They'll be like, that's on brand for you. You think
They're also gonna
you think
say,
that
"Who
they're
are
all
you?"
Movie critics. They're gonna, yeah. They'll be like, yeah, that seems like a random hot take he'd have. That wouldn't surprise them. So let's go into the top breaker scores. For the record, of the top 1 and 2s, did anybody have Parasite?
No,
Price, you had Parasite?
Yep.
Okay, and did you have Punisher?
I don't think so.
Well, I certainly didn't.
So,
Wait, Nathan, you didn't?
No.
no.
I know. Big
No, I didn't.
surprise.
So,
Therefore, it
the
moves.
Punisher, or Parasite, at number 2 with 1 point, breaks the tie and goes on.
This is absurd.
Hey, can I just say, Punisher almost did it. Punisher almost made it to the top 4.
Yeah.
Because it's a brothers movie.
No, it's not.
We're brothers.
No, it's not.
Let's compare it. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh! Rotten
Who
Tomatoes!
cares about the
Oh.
critics? No, well, the far-sniffing critics that all your friends are dumb.
Hey,
I'm gonna
price
go.
officially, hey, be sure to tip your nose up. Tip your nose
Tip your
up.
nose up.
Tip your nose up.
29%.
Do you smell the money rolling in, Mason? No.
Okay, so-
Indubitably.
Okay, let's see Parasite. Just real quick. Oh, 99? Oh my god.
I mean, it is a good movie. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, we never said it was a bad movie.
Hey, I never once said it was a bad movie. I think it's great.
Hey, if you want to go to our Google Sheets though, where I gave it a better score, yeah, you can do that.
That's
You know the thing that you just told me earlier about, hey, just pick whatever your favorite is.
Probably. I didn't. It was one of the memes, but now I know it's Parasite fan too, so that's good info.
All right, our
It changes
final
nothing,
matchup.
but-
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Right.
now we just know what the number 2
Yeah,
was.
and it's
we know what
and
the
we know what its
number
number 1 is. So, all right.
Our final matchup is Whiplash versus A Quiet Place.
I already made some enemies, so
I will say up front,
I think it's over.
Quiet Place is a better movie. Period. Like really.
Yeah, I mean, I do give it to A Quiet Place over Whiplash.
Yeah.
It would have been a more contentious argument for me were it still Everything Everywhere versus A Quiet Place, but now that it's those two, personal taste, it is A Quiet Place over Whiplash. I don't hate Whiplash.
No.
though at all.
I will say of all these top 8s, it is truly Sophie's choice amongst all these. I hated to have to see Punisher lose, and
Me too, buddy.
and amongst all, I literally get to the point where I don't even want to vote because it just would feel impossible for me to pick between two, like so many favorites. So no, with no disrespect to Whiplash, I think Quiet Place is a more interesting movie. I think what they do, and it is, and I'll say biasly that it's in a genre that I love, and I feel like it's the peak of its genre as a like modern thriller. Not horror, not that. You've heard my opinions on Quiet Place if you've seen the review, but it is truly like a thriller of tension, and it peaks that so fucking well, while also using other elements that I love. Again, there's a lot of things that are catered to me. We have sign language built in, we have a deaf child into it, but all of them are used in such exquisite ways. And for if you're gonna argue for Coda saying it feels like it's just like a campy teen drama that just happens to have deaf wallpaper over it, so to speak, this does not feel like the stuff is shoot in. So. I know I'm not pushing you to swing you. You're going to pick Whiplash. But I'm very cleanly on A Quiet Place. So we're 2-1 so far. Mason.
Yes, it is I. I had some issues with A Quiet Place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The issues being some of those, like, really, you shouldn't even be really thinking about them in this world, but, like, how on earth is this a thing? How could they have done this with this? How is that happening? How did they not
You
think
just
of
assume
that?
one chilly night ruins everybody, right?
Honestly, like, you really, I don't know. Was it because of...
Yeah, all of it.
Okay,
All of it.
fair enough.
They probably just don't eat beans.
They can't.
One fart ruins everything.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you're going, but I was trying to, like, strap on to other things.
No.
No, I get what you're saying because like the movie wants to like show you that it has thought this scenario through, but it feels like they've only done it half.
They
Like-
cover most bases, and I'll give them all the credit in the world for that. I do think that, like, A Quiet Place, front to back, is a solid movie.
Well, I wipe back to front.
You're unhealthy.
No, same here. I do that.
Yeah. What do you think the gooch is for? We don't have anything there. like this, buddy.
Oh no!
No. The amount of time it took you guys both to get there.
Well, no, I think just
No, Price especially, Mason.
Yeah, because Bryce
You're
like,
telling
oh
me
yeah,
you-
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, Price. No, he said
no,
he doesn't.
you
He
do.
said he doesn't.
There's
That was
no
Kenny.
way.
He says he doesn't.
I figured it's like back of the butt to the front of the butt. And I was like,
Future
yeah,
Nathan, I know you're not watching this, but can you just clip that right there? Can we just make that the intro to the
so
next
many
season?
questions about you guys' potty routines.
Well, I have a bidet, so it makes less.
Sorry,
Yeah,
man.
So, same.
Please
Yeah.
continue.
I think that, like, it's not so much of just the entire movie of A Quiet Place.
I don't
It's
care what way.
sway me one way or the other, but, like, J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, just
I
those
thought it was
two.
J.K. Rowling.
The next book it will be.
Just barely a little less
Yeah.
transphobic.
Yeah.
Or slightly.
Just a little bit.
Slightly.
Yeah.
More than you would think.
Yeah. I do love both of these movies, and I think that they're both going their directions way, like, separately. But I think I would still give it to Whiplash, just because, again, we talked about this. a base level movie with a lot. It's out kicking its coverage by quite a bit.
Mhm.
Whereas Quiet Place has some pretty cool things, trivia wise and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's very, very close, but I'm gonna give it to Whiplash just because it never bored me. The guy got hit by a car. Like,
I fucking hate that part. Actually, I won't lie. That
I
part's
love it.
infuriating to me.
I think it just shows the depths to how abused he's been, to the fact that like he's
He's
been
numb.
abused to this, and he's so driven
That's.
that he will go through a car crash
I think it.
to try and perform.
No,
because
No,
he
my
knows-
issue is
feels
that I feel like it
unrealistic.
feels too unreal, and it feels
hey.
for the things they
What
could.
about,
it doesn't to
No
me.
Country for Old Men when like he gets in
He
that
gets
car
hit by a
wreck at
car?
the end and he
That's-
buys a kid's bike for $100 or something?
I
and
think
he
that's
makes
ridiculous
off?
too.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
talking about something trying to be truly grounded versus something where
Which
there's
one is
like
grounded?
a caricature.
Whiplash.
Whiplash is
Whiplash
the
is
more
wholesomely
grounded.
grounded.
Oh, you're talking about the movie itself.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
more
yeah.
grounded. Okay, I thought you meant
Right.
the scenario.
No, yeah, I think whenever he gets hit by a car, I remember thinking that was one of my biggest complaints about the movie. Is that part was just like, surely they could have shown any other thing to express. Have him kill a puppy, and that's more believable than him getting into a car wreck, looking like shit, bleeding his way in over to the place, actually making it somewhat relevantly on time, like being late, but it's like he still dragged himself into it. That part, like, I get what they're
honestly,
trying.
I get that. Like he's like. Have you not like seen these people that are so like
No,
driven to the fact that
I
they
get that, but so
don't
for
take
Musicians
of
So
their
case
especially.
in, for a case in
needs?
point, no, I'm not saying that person is unrealistic. I'm saying that situation is like, Jesus.
I
Like
see,
the
'cause
movie
I'm
does it in
saying
a way
that
I don't
person's
like it.
Unrealistic.
Yeah. Like if you look at the what's
see it.
the swimmer movie?
Oh,
The other
The
other
Novice?
one? Yeah, if
Exact
you look-
same thing.
The
Yeah,
novice did a
the
much better
rowing.
job of expressing that without having to do something that suspends my like believability of
Wait a
the
minute.
realism in this movie.
Did you just give a nod to the Novice?
I did for this context because they are such incredibly
I
similar.
Clip it.
think they're very comparable.
Yeah, they're incredibly.
But he's like, if you remember the whole point, the reason he's in the car at that moment is because
he's
he
racing to go.
because he had like lost his drumsticks and the guy wasn't going to let him borrow his. And
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons like, if you're not on that set, you are out. So he is seeing his whole career, his path going to dissolve in his eyes if he does not go.
I'm not arguing that he doesn't
and
get into
drive
the car and
and
doesn't
do
do
that.
this and go do this. I just think it's a fault against the movie for making that be the delivery device, so to speak, the vehicle, if you will, of saying his motivation is so insane.
I don't know what it is because that's the crux. Like that's the moment when like his delusion finally breaks is when he has that
And he's a
wreck
shitty
he goes
drummer.
out there.
And I
Do
said
you
it.
think?
And
do
then-
you think what's
and-
more unrealistic? Him getting into a fight with J.K. Simmons, like tackling him, or the car wreck?
The car wreck. I
Yeah.
think that
I think they're. I mean,
I think
would
an
say
angry
they're
guy would
both.
tackle a dude if he got his shit on all the time from him and he smacks him around. I think a guy gets into a car wreck and he's and again, it's my fault against not the character because this is what you're hung up on. This is like you're hung up on that. It suspends my belief on the character. No, it suspends my belief of the movie.
No, like that exaggerated scenario needed to happen to show the abuse and everything that he has suffered to that point. And when J.K. Simmons is finally like, "Get off my set, you're not here anymore," that's when he's like, "I can't handle this anymore," and then tackles him off the stage and
That
actually
was
breaks
his
one of
last
J.K.
resort.
Simmons' ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's okay. All right, so we're at a tie though. We're at a
Yeah,
we're
we're at a tie.
So, has Whiplash at first? Do you have A Quiet Place on your top two?
No.
Okay, then, and you voted against. I voted for it, and I will say Quiet Place is not in my top two. So, Whiplash keeps going. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Why did you get your fingers dirty, buddy?
Thanks.
Come on.
Ooh, these.
Now, we're in the fucking
These.
weeds now.
We're in the
Let's see who
semifinals.
still bats up for Parasite whenever it comes against the Whiplash. Somebody was pro-Asian all the way up until white people with white people in it now.
Drumming.
I would do this in reverse order if I could, but we're in next match.
Yep.
What's
Yep.
up?
So we have Jojo Rabbit versus Lego Batman, and then we have Parasite versus Whiplash.
I want to hear those two.
What are the deciding factors on this one? Probably.
Yeah. Well, actually, you voted. I don't know. We got a swing vote over here
He's
for this one.
a bit of a swing
He
swinger.
wanted this one to go, and he
I
doesn't
thi- I-
like.
I-
Remember that
no.
graph that he gave us?
I'll tell you right now, he's going on this one because
100%.
if nothing else, it's animated. So you're the swing vote.
Monkey like the color.
It is.
this,
It
one,
is.
this one went like this for prize.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Genuinely, I would say like you should pitch because I do see myself as a swing vote between those two, and you know exactly how I feel about both of those.
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about
which is what I
both,
think is
but-
impressive on it. But all right, so we can build a drama, or we could just straight up, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I don't. It's
You
really
gave
difficult.
you
It
gave
is.
Lego a 10.
You did.
But this is the
Which
moment.
means I do ultimately tip towards Lego Batman because I had watched it the second time, and on that second watch, I strongly considered watching it immediately again.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
Dang.
like confirm for myself that I thought it was a 10. And I didn't end up doing that, but like I feel like I don't know, movies don't stick strongly enough in my head, so it's like got to just kind of be like the feeling that I remember around it, and I feel stronger towards the Lego Batman movie, weirdly enough, over JoJo.
But
even
why-
though I think they're both great.
But why
films.
do you love Lego Batman so much? I hear you keep saying like I love it, I like it, it's good, but I like
it?
why?
It's a comedy that hits the entire time, actually has me laughing. I like the visuals. I like Lego. I have a definitely a bias towards like that kind of like
Of that property.
that like I like Batman and I like Legos and I like seeing them put together, and I enjoy the kind of comedy that they execute on. I think the story was really good. I think the silliness in which Batman is portrayed is so perfect, and like you said, it is the best Batman movie that has been made.
And it's not even close for the record.
Which is
it's not.
funny because like there has been really good Batman movies,
Fantastic
but
ones.
the Lego Batman movie is like if you want something that feels like Batman, it knocks it out of the
It
park.
doesn't feel
It
like
feels-
Batman.
Yes, it does. Yes,
no, it
it
doesn't.
I am 1,000%
That-
with Mason.
That is the dumbest.
That-
He doesn't- He's
that-
not kooky and zany and
Yes,
that's his root. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm Bruce. What's your last name?
There's objective Wayne.
Wayne.
Jesus. Mason.
No, I know enough to know that is not Batman. I might not know his last
Mason,
name.
I do agree with you. I agreed with a lot of Nathan's points, but I'm with Mason's point
So,
on this.
This one feels just like
For
Batman.
for the record, before Price tries to put us into a twin vote, which I'm
Tween.
I'm curious on the numbers on, I'm picking JoJo. But here's my rebuttal to both of you clowns is that
Is
the clown count.
Oh, yeah, you're in on this one,
Damn it.
even though we're voting on the same one. Is that Batman from 66 to 93.
That's not the Batman I
No,
know
66,
or care about.
66 to
Don't
93
even
is
give me
zany
that.
Adam West, ridiculous Batman.
I don't care
And
about that.
So, for
Batman.
30-something years, he is zany, kooky, Lego, appropriate tone Batman. 91 to now is right around 30 years, so for as equal amount of time he's been kooky as
So
he's
you're
been
telling
dark
me
and
for
broody.
the amount of time that I've been alive,
Correct.
he has been dark,
Yes.
death-ridden,
Yes.
justice.
But in his life, in his whole running...
I don't
of-
care
of
about his
Bat-
life. I care
don't
about my
either.
life.
Of the property, his
Well,
kookiness has been just as
also
documented
keep in
as
mind,
the
like the
darkness.
cartoon shows and stuff too. And I watched
Oh, Batman the Animated
Beyond
Series,
and
Batman
the
Beyond.
Batman animated
If we're getting
series.
very
Yeah.
lost in the weeds here, Dylan, why are you picking JoJo?
So as much as I love Lego Batman, and I will fact you to fucking death, Jojo Rabbit hits my heartstrings just a little bit deeper.
A little?
A little bit, dude. Fucking Lego Batman makes me cry too. Like both of these movies make me cry.
I've never had a
Nothing from that
dad.
side of the couch is making sense to me right now.
Privilege more with your dad privilege, you cuck. Jesus Christ!
I can't.
Wow.
I can't
This
stand
guy-
it.
Fucking, he's on it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not trying to bring personal
Personal
stuff
stuff
to the
into
table.
it. Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
He's
think-
not. And there's the thing, audience. He's not.
Do you think he ever got those cigarettes?
I was not.
No, I was kidding.
I was talking about Michael Cera.
Oh.
Okay, please do continue your JoJo thing.
I like JoJo more. The end. Let's go to tiebreakers.
Mason, where are you at?
Oh, JoJo all the way out. I don't know how Lego Batman's made it this far.
Because it's fantastic.
I'm
That's why.
sorry. I don't. Listen, I don't. Who the fuck did it? Baby Driver? You had me at Baby Driver, okay?
Okay.
Like, Lego Batman can beat Baby Driver, that's fine.
Uh-huh.
Then it went up against Oh Brother, and I was like, nah,
Well, hey, listen.
And then it went up against Super
Punisher can
Troopers,
beat
and I was like,
Gladiator, then
uh-uh.
Lego Batman can beat
That's true.
I had Lego Batman losing 4 rounds ago to Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Is it your
Outside.
number one?
Hey.
It doesn't matter if we're. Okay,
No, it
so
gets
you're
into
going
our-
JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo.
And I'm going JoJo, and you're going Lego, and he's going Lego. So now I'm asking, who's...
How do you know I'm going Lego?
You might not be going Lego.
Alright, well, pick. Now it's time
It,
to
it genuinely is still hard for me because, again, like, I enjoy JoJo up until that moment. And I
Uh-huh.
know I keep harping on that.
So do you
because, like,
appreciate
it
the higher
really-
highs, or do you
I
appreciate
know
consistency?
that's the issue. It's almost like my Annihilation graph, except I would put
Take
like
the
the
average.
the consistency of Annihilation. Like I would put it up for Lego Batman.
Really?
Like, I
Over
feel like,
Lego?
I feel like
That's
yeah,
the-
probably.
You
But
mentioned
I don't
earlier how
know.
you don't remember anything from Super Troopers. I honestly don't remember anything from Lego Batman besides like Robin being the weirdest.
He's so fucking fun.
He
Like,
is
who-
pretty
you know,
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so
putting on
And
the
I-
ring.
and I-
Yeah.
and I-
What about this costume?
And I do.
Please put some
and it is Will Arnett. And
Yeah.
he's in BoJack Horseman, which is like one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
He's in Arrested
Big
Development,
thing,
which
it
is
was a good
another
one.
like top 10
Yeah.
show for me. Like, I like him a lot, and he's in Hot Rod, and I love Hot Rod. But
Who? Will Arnett?
yeah, he dates Isla Fisher, and at the end
Oh,
she
he
breaks
like
up
the-
with
the
him,
boyfriend?
and he just keeps
Yeah.
going like, babe, babe,
That's right.
babe.
That's right. That big jump.
So I do like him, and that song at the beginning is good.
So you feeling froggy,
Bat-
little boy?
Batman, Lego Batman opens like hard, like the
It
Batman!
does. I do like that. Like it does jump right into it and presents
Yeah.
what it is, but some of those emotional beats are very too over the head. Like I know we're joking about the dad thing, but like I
We
know
were?
I know it's made for kids, but like the jokes seem way more tailored towards adults because it's so fast. Like
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
very
if I would
quippy.
say Lego Batman's specifically aimed at kids.
No, I definitely
No,
wouldn't
I don't
either.
think.
I
I think.
don't really think.
I
it
think
is.
it does on a surface level. Like if you're watching it without paying too much attention to it, it's great for kids. But if you're somebody who is paying attention to it, I think it's great for the adults.
I think I'll have to go Lego Batman because at least it is just like consistent for me. Whereas Jojo Rabbit has that noticeable huge drop for me that completely like derails me from the movie. Like I don't know what's happening because even like the lead up to him finding his mom isn't it like very upbeat and everything, and then he sees his mom's shoes.
It has like a very sudden turn as
Yeah.
you see the shoes.
Yeah.
on
It
frame.
is.
Yeah.
But it-
I don't like, and I'm talking about me. I don't like that at all because I don't feel like
We
it
love
meshes
that.
with the tone of the movie. Whereas Parasite plays with genres very well and masterfully, and you feel each one.
Oh my god!
But-
Whiplash.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Lego Batman.
my
Just
number two could
barely.
have gotten zapped earlier.
Lego Batman just barely, so it is a tie.
So, raise your hand if Lego Batman is in your top two.
Oh shit.
Raise your hand if Jojo Rabbit is in your top two.
No. Oh!
Now the question is though.
This is actually
This- it
scary.
gets-
it's Jojo.
No, it could still because
No, it
this is
could.
number one, which means it has 2 points. And if me and Mason both
Oh.
have JoJo with equal points to him, we go to higher average, which to be fair would still be Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
So it's a favorite going in, but Nathan, I'll let you do the reveal. What ranking is your Lego Batman?
It's 1. It's a 10.
Yeah, it's one.
Lego Batman. And your Jojo Rabbit ranking?
1.
Ooh.
My Jojo Rabbit is 1.
Okay.
So basically 2-on-1.
Woo!
That was a close one. Then.
I had it number 2, and I didn't know if you were gonna have JoJo in there, so I was gonna tie him,
No, it's solid.
or he was gonna beat me out on it because
It's a really, really good movie.
Yeah, they're both great movies.
They are solid.
They both are.
All right, so JoJo's.
Anyway, let's move past the
championship.
dead dad talks or live dad talks or wherever they're at.
Dead parents.
Seriously, where are you?
I'm just
Um,
happy these two movies that we're about to talk about made it into the top 4.
That's how me with
That's
Punisher.
I consider that a win in
JoJo,
my book.
Punisher, Parasite, Whiplash, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't recall.
All right, so we're talking about Parasite and Whiplash. Let's get in it.
Let's get it. This is curious.
Yeah, we've done this a lot where it's like this movie's a lot of this, but this one's also going this totally different direction. I mean, Dylan kind of exposed me a little bit earlier.
Had to. Sorry, bud.
Whiplash is I
Everybody
think
saw
a
it.
little bit more of a crazy watch. Well, hell, I don't know about crazy.
Compared to Parasite?
That's not a good word.
Whoa!
Parasite is
A-
A
wild.
kid gets stabbed.
Yeah.
By a crazy man from a basement. Just that plot line alone, Mason.
is.
Just that
Alright.
plot line alone is wilder than anything you can describe in Whiplash.
Alright, hear me out, Dylan.
He
you
got
said
hit by a
earlier-
car.
You
Fuck-
said earlier
fuck that
that
stupid
Channing
car.
Tatum coming out of the basement
Oh,
was bad for you.
Oh.
Yes, because it's okay. Just because one
There's
thing
a
coming out of
similar
the
man
basement.
coming out of a
They're
basement.
similar.
No, because they
They're
show
just as
him, they
handsome.
talk about him, they build him up, and then
They don't build him up at all.
no, they sit there and give him plenty of
No,
screen
they
time.
do not. Wait,
Channing,
no,
Channing
beforehand.
Tatum suddenly is hold on to your huevos, motherfucker, or whatever he says, and that's no telling before then. You don't see.
Yeah, they don't
There's
They
no
don't- they don't
foreshadow.
foreshadow it.
Nothing. Nothing.
Like,
They
about
do
it.
Do
with-
they?
they
No,
do
Actually, I
they
think
don't.
They do.
Not in Hateful Eight.
Not
They
Hateful
don't
Eight.
at all.
In
No.
Parasite, they do because like she's
Oh, yeah,
talking
in
about.
Parasite,
She talks about the cake
absolutely.
thing. They let her
Yeah.
show it on. They literally go down there. When even while they're down there, he doesn't go up to murder anybody until the absolute end of the film when you're quite conscious of
Yeah.
him hitting his head against the bulb. Yeah, he's been well established at that point.
Not well established. I'm talking about before the reveal. He is
Oh, the
barely,
fact that he's in there, period.
barely mentioned, and it's almost like
It's
you had to
teased, but
pick
it's
it
better
up
than
on it.
Hateful Eight's thing. Yeah.
I think they're very, very same. Like I'm not.
But keep going, Mason.
Anyway, so basement people.
I think that I don't know. Parasite is
Yeah.
still quite a bit to chew on. It's a fantastic movie, but if
Yeah.
we're talking about rewatchability, if I'm not mistaken, up until this point, I've given what I've ranked higher The Edge on every single thing. You guys made fun of me. You guys joked as far as like
No, you've been consistent about your points to
yeah,
vote
like,
ratio.
I can still make fun of
over-
the Punisher.
Well, yeah.
I will vote for it. I'll make fun of the
Exactly.
Punisher. It's fun to make fun
Yeah,
of.
you
It's
can
a
go
fun
back
movie.
and you can see. I think every single one had a high rank. I do think that Whiplash would get the edge on Parasite on this one, just because Parasite. I've seen it probably 2 total times, and it's a lot.
These
it's a great
fucking White
story.
Devils, they beat everything everywhere. I'm not. No!
White Devils.
No! The White Devils should not be beating the other great Asian movie of the. You know what?
I'm
Not
on
gonna make it about
Whiplash.
race. Not gonna make it about race.
You're the only one
You
bringing up
should.
race.
There's no race component.
Cultural background's really important to Parasite, so that's why the race factor to it. But
Please continue, Dylan.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
Use your gift of gab.
I will. Parasite's better.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's better. I want.
No.
You mentioned talking about a dinner and a thing, and I'm like, I want a fucking full dinner, and this one gave me a full dinner, and then actually gave me leftovers afterwards. Whiplash, I go to dinner, I ate,
Hey.
and then they gave me nothing left.
Remember the dinner table scene?
In Parasite,
What about in Whiplash?
is there dinner something?
Not
Oh, yeah.
Parasite.
And non-Whiplash.
Dinner table scene in Parasite's more like they're just eating like leftover.
There's a
Chinese
lunch
food.
table. Well, yeah, they're at the table at the living room when it all shit
The
goes down.
moment where the family's
The
left
family
on
comes up, they all creep and
vacation.
fall under. There's
Oh,
a huge dinner table scene.
That
in
is true.
Parasite.
They're eating like popcorn and stuff.
Yeah, they're eating and drinking in the living room. Price.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
drinking
that's not
heavily.
a. It's not a.
That's a dinner table.
That's
scene.
not a dinner table.
It's a
thing.
cultural
It-
difference, but they're
it's-
eating
so-
there, so it's considered a dinner table. at
No,
that
it's
point.
But
not.
it's not what we typically
Right, we
Like,
want
Ours
this
is
to
a
go on.
full meal family sit down brawl.
Let alone
That
what
is
I'm
not
talking about is
insane.
in this podcast we always talk
Talk
about
about
big
big
dinner
dinner
table
table
scenes
scenes.
And Whiplash.
being these big tense crazy
Yeah,
moments.
Whiplash just isn't that big.
Paris,
It's not that big, but
It's
there
not
is
that big,
one.
but it's bigger than
it's one
Parasite.
it's one little, and that's pretty much it.
dude, I don't know. I felt the tension in that room.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it wasn't as bad as like Remember Me or.
Can we do a top 5 dinner table scenes
Bruh,
and see
can
what
we
Whiplash?
finally do it?
Does Whiplash get on even? Does
No.
Whiplash get top 3?
No, but I can tell you what else doesn't.
Well, there you go.
Parasite.
Oh, you know what goes on there?
I don't know about that.
Incredibles. That one definitely goes on there.
No.
That's a great dinner table.
Mr.
scene.
Incredible was way too selfish.
Is Parasite in your top 2?
No.
What?
No, I've already shot my shot.
Well,
yeah.
It's-
What do you? Parasite or Whiplash?
I think you went Parasite.
I'm Parasite.
Parasite.
Both
Oh,
of these
Whiplash.
are 10s for me. I mean, I gave them both 10s.
Yeah.
And I've given these 2 10s, and I've given Step Brothers a 10, and Tim and Eric. So I guess that is a few. But that is half of my 10s right here.
It's like 7 10s. You just
Whiplash is just like ultimately it's not my cup of tea in a movie. I appreciate
I
it.
like
and I
Whiplash.
think it
Oh,
was-
like
it was
Lego
surprising.
Batman might not be mine, huh?
I mean that's fine.
Yeah, hey, we
That's
never
fine.
faulted you
Yeah,
for liking
Nathan.
disliking the movie.
Awful person.
kidding.
Listen,
Yeah.
And I say this. Listen, first of all, let me start by saying again, I like Whiplash. Good movie. I like seeing Miles Teller slapped around as much as anybody else here. I
Dude, he
think.
got smacked.
Yeah.
But I understand if Whiplash isn't your cup of tea because it is a very narrow movie that caters to a smaller
Specific
audience.
audience, yeah.
Because Parasite like encompasses a lot more people with what it's trying to do
Talking to me or Nathan?
to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Because like
All right.
Whiplash is a lot more narrow, whereas Parasite is more broad.
Sure, it's a human story versus pretty much a societal commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just barely. I think I got Whiplash over Parasite. I mean it's narrow because they're both 10s for me. But Whiplash hit me on a level. I mean, every time I've watched Whiplash, my hands are sweating at the end. Like, I know what's gonna happen. I know how it's gonna
You should get
end.
that
You know
looked
what,
at.
too? Okay, so hear
It
me
just
out,
always
too.
gets me.
My final little thing about Whiplash is, like, how big was Parasite at the very end of 2019?
Big.
Massive.
Yeah.
Everyone heard about that movie.
It won the Oscar, so yeah,
Right?
yeah.
How big was Whiplash?
Oh, not that low. Did it come out in 2019?
No, it was like 2016.
Oh,
17.
yeah. Oh, then it was. Well, I don't fucking know. Who cares? Who cares? Who's watching movies in 2016 besides me and you?
I wasn't.
You're right. That's when cinema started. I don't know what I was
Yeah,
even
I mean,
doing.
right.
I don't know why I'm even bringing
And
it
in
up.
2016, we had.
I was watching
We had Avengers
anime.
Civil War, so I wasn't watching Whiplash.
Gross.
I was watching anime and
What
playing
I'm-
Maple
what
Story.
I-
By
what I'll-
2016, I was about 16 years out of watching movies.
See, he was right.
About right, yeah.
Yeah.
The Matrix and then done.
Mason,
he tuned in
what-
for 2005.
What's this
Before
whammo
that.
blammo point you got?
Just my big point is like another edge that would.
So
give
you think it
Whiplash.
deserves it more because it
Hey,
didn't get the
it's a
recognition
little under
it
the
deserves.
radar, and it's kind of a diamond in the rough a little bit, right? Like you stumble upon a movie like this on a streaming site, on an Amazon Prime. Oh wow, what the heck is this? I'm just gonna put it on, and then you're just in it. Like before you know it, the movie's over, and you've just kind of given.
You're hitting the wrong button. It's your big stupid tongue.
But yeah, I like movies like that.
Okay.
Just-
Well, I'll spoil it for everybody.
Okay.
Parasite. Raise your hand if it's on your top 1 or 2. Raise your hand if Whiplash is your number 1. Yeah. Huh. So 3 points to Price's own 1 point.
Whiplash is
Parasite.
my number 2.
I know it is.
I would-
I know it is.
I would love
Okay.
to have.
Really
I would
like
love to have pushed Parasite, been that one to push it up to the finals because I think it would be a better fight than
Everything
what's,
at work
than
got
what's about to
snubbed.
happen.
I'm gonna hold this, but yeah.
But I mean, I do like Whiplash better, even though Parasite would be the better fight. I do like Whiplash. just a
I
tad
think
more.
that's the thing is like now we're at the point where like I figured we would be,
Uh huh.
and
Which is?
the battle lines are going to just be very clearly drawn here.
Well, this one's a little bit tricky now.
You don't think?
Oh, I don't. I do because
JoJo. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
it is.
Is it? Can we just call it?
It is.
For the record, if it went to ties.
For the record, I had JoJo then Whiplash.
So I have
So Mason called it.
Lego, or sorry, I had JoJo then Lego, and you had Lego then JoJo.
No, I had Lego and
The
Annihilation.
Punisher?
yeah, that's fair.
Damn.
That's fair. So by points alone, it would have been.
Well, I have Whiplash, so.
So it would have been 2,
Well,
and then you would. Is it JoJo you first?
This was my second. First.
So 3,
What-
and then
what-
you would have been 2.
What you
4.
got, Nathan?
I
Because
feel
we
like
both had this one first.
we've
Yeah.
broken
Yeah, so this
down
would have been 3
here.
to 4.
We do have our final 2 here.
Yeah, let's at least
Oh, let's
give it.
get the
let's give
audience
it a
excited.
Yeah.
Woo!
JoJo Rabbit against Whiplash.
Oh my God.
For the record.
Get the noose out. Am I right?
Yeah. So let's just
I'll
really
put it on.
really quickly, if we went to tiebreakers, how many points does Whiplash get? You get 2. You give it 1, so that's 3. 0, 0, right? JoJo would have gotten 0, 2,
Yep.
4, 0. So it would have been 4 to 3, which was still a hell of a close.
But
like,
points
1-1-2.
don't matter.
No,
The
if this
votes
would
are
have been
what matters.
yes, you're right. This is
That's
saying
just
if
like,
it's a
hey,
tiebreaker.
Nathan, you stay out of this.
I'm building tension. I'm building tension.
Oh, okay.
I'm building
Gotcha.
tension here because on a point scale, Whiplash, from the top 8 in, was a 3-point movie against JoJo being a 4-point movie, and this is probably the only 4-point movie in the whole roster. So I'm saying this is an impressive feat for Whiplash. That being said, we go by votes here before we ever touch these things, and even if we had to go double tiebreaker, JoJo has the higher average.
Yeah,
So 2 out of 3 tiebreakers, JoJo is proven by this podcast, cumulatively speaking, to be on top.
Also, in 2019, we had an Oscar party, and
We did.
I said multiple times that like Parasite's good, but like JoJo was my favorite movie of that year by a landslide. Like it was far superior. If you guys have that Excel sheet, like I think I gave Parasite maybe like a 8,
Yeah.
maybe an 8.5. Like I was kind of
You
low
were underselling it
compared to
relative
everyone
right.
else.
I was saying this. I said that JoJo is probably my favorite, but Parasite is the better movie, and that's where I came out on fighting with.
You
both
said
of
The
those
Punisher
movies.
is better than Parasite.
Yeah, it is. So, well, no, that's
I'm
not
never
what I said.
going to let you live that
I said
down.
I would
just want
vote
you to
Punisher
know.
over Parasite. I wasn't saying that I like.
Just like how last bracket he said
also
that
like
Jurassic
the
Park has
Birdemic.
had its time.
Uh huh.
Well,
That's fine.
I
I gotta give
feel
him something
like-
to work on every year.
I
Right?
feel
Yeah,
like
yeah, he'll chew on
Punisher
this.
was basically Excalibur
Yeah.
the last bracket.
Excalibur's fantastic.
100%.
I would re-
He always does a meme vote, and I don't understand it. Like, I could have done a meme vote, been like, I like Whiplash more, but Parasite will do
Well,
something.
you did. You voted Whiplash over Everything Everywhere. which
But I'm
is
not gonna
better.
do that.
But you did.
I just think it's
With
so
Whiplash.
silly.
So
Wow.
let's talk about why Jojo
Hey.
Rabbit.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whiplash is a 14 seed.
It is. This is pretty impressive for a
It's
14
halfway through the seeding.
and it's had its time. And now JoJo wins.
You're right.
So-
and next year it'll have its time.
I gave my spiel when it went against
Yeah,
everything. So you give your
We've
JoJo spiel.
we've
if you
beaten
want.
all the horses to death. I think there's nothing more to say than otherwise that you know what? Here's what I'll say. This 32 bracket was not as intense as I was hoping it was going to be, but for the tightness of this bracket, this felt much tighter from the start compared to our first bracket.
Oh, sure.
For
Yeah,
sure.
because we didn't have...
I mean, sure, it
we
went
didn't
64,
have
but
a 64 round.
But from
like,
32 onwards, this felt like there was a couple easy winners, but there were more fights than I thought there were going to be.
I kind of like the 64 better.
I don't.
I mean,
I think 64 is too fucking exhausting. if anything.
Maybe we picked more movies that we really. I think I had more movies I
No.
cared about on this, but everybody picked like their top movies on that last bracket, so I felt like there was more fights and stuff.
Screaming.
This one, it was just more like we know where each other are. Let's just do
to
the tiebreak.
degrees, there was a lot of swings in this one. There was a lot of
So
ones
for
going
it
left.
to be
right.
only 32.
For a 32 one, this had more swings than we here in a minute. Like
We had at least
I rode
5
deep with
options.
Nathan for a
6.
lot more of the bracket than I did with any of you two, and normally me and Mason are paired up in our taste on some of these
Yep.
ones. So the only one I went with him was Punisher, and that's because it's a better movie than Parasite. So with that
That's
all
what I'm saying.
with that all being
I've been
said,
saying.
with that all being said,
Are
we
re-
need to debut.
Are we ready
Yeah.
to? Are we ready to be done talking about the bracket? This was like
This
a
was-
year and a half,
this
2
was a-
years
Well,
in
it
the
was
making.
you screaming that you wanted another
Yeah,
bracket.
you've
Yeah,
been on
I've
the
been
bracket
waiting for a
five,
bracket.
for
I know
5
you
years.
have, and now
So
you're gonna
congratulations
scream
to
about it next week.
Jojo Rabbit. That one's for you, Dorito. Rest in peace, buddy. Can we get a
didn't
cue?
do it, yeah.
Well, we didn't. Well,
Yeah,
we
we
have a
didn't.
break between top 8. Well, that's when
That's
we're
true.
gonna put the.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah,
We're gonna put like a montage for him there.
Well, a little bit.
Sarah McLachlan's
In
Angel
memory of
is gonna
Dorito.
play.
Yeah,
And we'll have
Actually,
Mason sing it.
that would be ideal. We're gonna get copyrighted though. For that. We will definitely get copyrighted. For that. So, new bracket, same old wheel, but with brand spanking new
Bring it.
option picks on it. Let's see what we got on the wheel.
Don't name them.
Yeah, don't name him.
We're spinning.
We're just going straight
Yep.
to it.
Yep.
God, I want some puss.
Come on. All
I'll
right.
do it if it is. You're gonna.
Alright.
For the
do
record,
it.
Yes,
guest
I
host is right there. Guest
Yeah,
host.
it's still there.
Puss.
And the first movie of season
Red,
whatever,
Red.
Guns
Akimbo.
Red.
Ah!
There. Wow.
Guns
Okay.
Akimbo.
Daniel Radcliffe's ride
He's crazy.
of
It's
a movie.
He's
it's
crazy.
a wild ride.
Harry Potter goes nuts. Guns Akimbo is going to be the first
I'm winning.
episode of season.
Is that yours?
What season is this?
Yeah.
7?
7.
7?
Let's say 7.
Jesus.
Pretty sure.
I don't know what a
Pretty
season really
positive.
means for us.
Well, the last one's 14 movies,
Oh.
and not 30 like we're
Yeah.
normally
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, those seasons started getting a little too chunky. They were like year-long seasons practically. So welcome to season 7 of F Movie Podcast. We are reviewing Guns Akimbo next episode. If you like the content we're doing, because God, we work really hard for this one on you guys.
So
Yeah.
hard.
Give me up.
Mhm.
Give me up.
Let us know in the comments below. As always, make sure if you want to keep following these contents and you want to know when we put out those videos, make sure to hit the bell. And make sure to hit
Next
subscribe.
time.
Hit the thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you think. Did Everywhere get snubbed? Hell yeah. Did Whiplash go way too far? Maybe a little. Did
Did
Punisher
the
not?
Punisher not
Did
get
Punisher
enough?
should have been Punisher versus Annihilation? I think so. Tell us what your
Matchup
picks were
everyone wanted.
in the comments below, because I am curious of this poll, what people thought of these movies and how far they went with it. That's it. We appreciate your time as always. Goodbye.
R.I.P. Dorito.
Rip Dorito. This one's for you.
Rip.
I am like
Does that mean I get to pick
genuinely so
another one?
much more
No, you
tired
pick-
this
yeah.
time.
Really?